Attention stations, ARN programming coming up in 15 seconds.
A tiger is a tiger. A bulldog is a bulldog. A panther is a panther. But a Reddie is God's noblest work.
Are you ready?
I am no mere beast.
Yeah, I'm also no mere beast.
I am no mere beast. I am no mere beast. I am no mere beast. I am no mere beast.
The Henderson State Sports Network proudly presents Ready Football 2018. Henderson State Ready Football is sponsored by All Care Pharmacy, Baptist Health, Big Cheese Pizza, Domino's, Fat Boys Fine Food, Holiday Inn, Java Primo, Jeremy Hughes, Shelter Insurance, Larry Pennington Insurance, Los Agaves Restaurant, The Plaza at Twin Rivers, The Ready Bookstore, SCM Architects, Southern Bancorp, Texarkana Surgery Center, Sodexo, Southwest Auto Collection, Southwest Sporting Goods, State Farm Insurance Agent David Bust, Subway, Visit Hot Springs, Wingstop. The Henderson State Sports Network is live and on location across the great American Conference. Time for the Domino's pregame show. Now let's head to the broadcast booth. Here are Phil Elson and Cyrus Wittig.
Bright sun shining on a gorgeous Thursday evening in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, and we welcome you inside Carpenter Haygood Stadium for opening day 2018. The Reddies open this season for the second year in a row, this time against the now defending GAC champion Harding Bisons. Appreciate you tuning in. We're live on the Domino's pregame show. Phil Elson with my partner Cyrus Wittig. We've got Phil Raines back at the studios, and the Reddies looking for a bit of a bounce back here after dropping to 6-5. That's their fewest win total since the 2011 season. And the Reddies did start strong with a win over Harding last year, but you look at last year, and that was last year. This is a much different football team now. Of course, you got the same head coach that has enjoyed so much success for the last 14 years in Scott Maxfield, but a lot of new names to get used to, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Henderson making changes at 4 or 5 positions at the offensive line. Quarterbacks, won't be anybody that threw a pass for Henderson at all previously that plays quarterback this year. There are some questions at running back with guys returning from some injuries last year. Wide receiver, you've got some experience. Defense might be a strength for the team this year, but we'll all find out a little bit more over the coming few hours as Henderson gets set to take on the Harding Bisons. Let's bring Cyrus Wittig on. As Cyrus was with us on the sidelines last year, he knows this Reddies team pretty well. But we all feel like we might have an idea of what what Henderson football has been about over the last few years. But things are different now. You've got different coordinators on both the offensive and defensive side. You've got a lot of new names, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and that's really where the questions right now line up. We'll start offense. Last year you had a lot of experience on the offensive line. You had all 5 starters returning. This year just Daniel Moore, the left guard, is the only man who has ever made a start for Reddies up on that front 5.
You're absolutely right, Phil. When you look at this Reddies team, it's not just the kind of the manpower, but they look different across the board aesthetically. Just looking at the Reddies warm up, it's the first game where the Reddies got the new threads on, so the Reddies look different in terms of their jerseys and who's wearing those jerseys. But you're absolutely right. Daniel Moore is the sole returner on this Reddies offensive line. He'll be stepping in tonight at left guard. And Tyler Barnes is going to step in the center position, so he'll kind of captain the offensive line. He played in a few games last year, but with 4 of the 5 offensive line linemen getting their first start and first big-time action in GAC play, what a way to do it against a Harding Bison team that is a defending GAC champion and made an appearance in the D2 national semifinal last year. So it's going to be a trial by fire for Henderson State today and really for the beginning half of the season, if you will. But with the Henderson coaching staff, between Coach Scott Maxfield, he's been here 14 years. He's used to breaking in new players. This isn't his first go-round with young bodies at different positions. So I have full faith in this Reddies coaching staff that they'll have these guys coached up and ready to go.
Harding returning a lot of players from last year's defensive team. Really good on defense. You know what they bring offensively with that double slot back combination. Never quite know who has the ball. They're really good at hiding that football behind a big offensive line and smaller running backs. We talk about how Henderson perhaps can keep up with them offensively. You've got some wide receivers that can make some plays. We don't know too much about the quarterbacks in Richard Stemetti and in Cody Winokur. Cody threw for over 4,000 yards in junior college ball. He had transferred to play last year with the Reddies, but redshirted. Stemetti, he only threw for a little over 700 yards in junior college last year. This is first year with the Reddies program. Stemetti is the one who will get the start. Coach Maxfield says Winokur will play. But, if you get some of these wide receivers the football, they can make plays. Ben Johnson, one of 7 receivers in the GAC with over 1,000 receiving yards. Darian Gray, good deep ball threat. Same with John Murray, who we've seen stretch out some bubble screens over the last couple of years. Henderson, right now, you talk inexperience on the line, at quarterback, maybe at running back as well. Wide receiver is the position where they feel they're strongest.
Absolutely right. I think wide receiver, you hit the nail on the head. Wide receiver is a place where if you're a young quarterback and you're in a little bit of trouble, you can trust your wide receivers to be in the right place at the right time, running good routes, and really just have a grasp on the playbook overall. When you're breaking in sometimes, new wide receivers and new quarterbacks at the same time, sometimes a hook route turns into a corner route, or an out route turns into an in route. Of all the practices I've watched over spring and through fall ball, I've noticed that there's a lot of communication that goes on between the wide receiver and the quarterback, and people take that for granted. You group a lot of fans, kind of group them in as an offensive unit, but they do go to different meetings and they talk about different things, and so it's not just assumed that they're going to be on the same page. But I think this Reddies wide receiving core and the quarterbacks group do a good job of in practice saying what went wrong, what went right, and fixing things so that when it comes to game time, they can be at their most effective and most efficient.
Yeah, being on the same page at practice is one thing. Being on the same page during the game is another.
No doubt.
And this, of course, the first game for everybody in the 2018 season. So they got a lot to learn about each other in the moments that matter. It is a hot one in Arkadelphia today. You got the heat index up over 100 degrees right now. They tell us it's 90. It's always funny about the heat index because if it feels like it's 102, doesn't that really mean like it's 102? It actually feels more like about 125 degrees in our booth. But down there on the field where the Reddies and the Bisons are warming up at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium, it is probably a little bit uncomfortable. But, hey, these guys have been practicing in some heat for the bulk of the last month or so. And we've got lots coming up on the Domino's pregame show, which, of course, is brought to you by Domino's. And while you're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network, you can enjoy a fresh hot Domino's pizza. Just call 870-246-3131, or it's even easier to go online at Domino's.com or download the Domino's app. Take care of it right there. Domino's Pizza is a proud sponsor of Henderson State Athletics, and locally here in Arkadelphia, they're at 3120 Pine Street. All right, lots coming up on the Domino's pregame show. We have the AD's Corner with Sean Jones coming up, the Ready Player Spotlight after that, the Wingstop weather forecast. We'll be looking around the GAC. Of course, most Division II teams do open today, if not all of them, I think. Coach Maxfield sits down to talk with us in segment number 6. Starting lineups, keys to the game, all that coming up. Stay tuned. We'll have the AD's Corner as Hunter Lively sits down to talk with Sean Jones next on the Henderson State Sports Network.
There you go. For Henderson State Ready Apparel and Souvenirs, stop by the Ready Bookstore, located on the HSU campus in the Garrison Center. Open before every game. You can also purchase apparel and
so the next two segments
under
you're
the Ready
playing.
Bookstore tent during the game. The Ready Bookstore is open 8 to 5.
Phil, you're playing both of those. You have those ready to go.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Bookstore, proud supporters of Henderson State Athletics.
John says they're ready. I'll take that as the truth.
Experience. All Care Pharmacy understands your pharmaceutical needs. We offer fast and friendly service, including a drive-through window for additional convenience, along with 14 retail locations to serve you throughout Arkansas. Transfers are as easy as 1, 2, 3. So stop by and see Brian and staff at 3002 West Pine Street in Arkadelphia. Remember, at All Care, we care.
Picture this. It's Monday afternoon and you're at Domino's buying a large 3-topping pizza. You give the Domino's employee $7.99 plus tax, of course. Now, picture this. It's Friday and you're at Domino's buying a large 3-topping pizza. You give the Domino's employee more than you paid Monday. You feel bamboozled. But then, you hear this.
Domino's is now extending its $7.99 large 3-topping carryout deal to all day, every day.
And so you danced and ate Domino's. Carryout only. Must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.
All right, guys. We really need a miracle right now.
You're telling me those guys are monsters.
I've tried every play in the book, guys.
Not every play.
You mean the hot springs?
You want to win, right?
We haven't run that play since Jackie Robinson played Hot Springs spring training ball.
Go for it.
All right. It's the hot springs on 3. To learn more about the rich sports history in Hot Springs National Park, visit hotsprings.org.
Welcome back to the Domino's pregame show, as it's now time for today's AD Corner with Athletic Director Sean Jones, sponsored by All Care Pharmacy. And Sean, a new season is upon us. It's always an exciting time in Ready Athletics when we kick things off at home here at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium in Ruggles Field. And huge matchup tonight with nationally ranked Hardin.
Yeah, how about a team that was the national semifinalist right out of the chute to open the season, Hunter? But you know what? If you're going to be the best, you got to play and beat the best. And tremendous opportunity for our team. Despite it being a very young squad, we're very excited about this team and looking forward to the challenge tonight of a Harding team that comes in ranked, I think, 3rd in the country in one poll and 7th in the nation in another poll. But just in general, it's exciting to have all of our student athletes back on campus. It's exciting to kick off the football season, and we're looking forward to tonight and of course, a busy weekend ahead for all of our athletic teams.
Well, a record freshman class here at Henderson State. A lot of those football players. A new branding campaign with the No Mere Beast hashtag. Tons of welcome week festivities. It's a great time to be a Ready right now. Your thoughts on the first few weeks of the school year?
It's really been exciting. I mean, you can tell that we have a large freshman class because when you drive around campus, there's nowhere to park. And that's a good thing. I mean, when your parking lot's full, that means your residence halls are full. And great freshman class. Dr. Brandy Benton and her group did a super job in recruiting. And then, of course, down here in athletics, we have the largest athletic department in school history. You know, going back to 2013, we had 254 student athletes. I think it was January of 14 that we had 254. And now we have over 500. That counts 30 in cheer and palm. Those two sports were moved to athletics this year, and we're certainly thrilled about having them as part of our intercollegiate athletic program. And you mentioned the excitement on campus, the Welcome Week activities. Brad Patterson, our new Vice President for Student Success and Student Development, and his staff did a tremendous job of putting together a lot of outstanding events. You know, this is not our first event of the year in the football stadium. We had a big concert last Wednesday, Amity Road, Whiskey Myers, Co Wetzel. I had a bunch of students out, a lot of fun at that, a bunch of other great Welcome Week activities. You and I have had the privilege to go to several pine tree speeches, and by far and away the biggest crowd we've ever had in Arkansas Hall. I'm not sure there could ever have been more people in Arkansas Hall for any event. We were standing 2-3 rows deep on the walls, all the seats full. So that was a great indicator of just how big the freshman class is, and also how everybody was excited for this season. But, you know, certainly a lot of people at that event, a lot of people will be here tonight. And as you said, Hunter, just so many great things going on with Week of Welcome. You even mentioned the new branding campaign. I think people are really excited about that. You know, going back to our history, Crawford Green in 1921 in the Henderson State Oracle, writing that article about no mere beast shall ever symbolize the wearer of the H. None can. Long may we keep it so. And we are very proud to not have a mascot, to have a spirit here at Henderson State. And our new branding campaign, No Mere Beast, indicates that. When you are a Ready, you are no mere beast. You're not wearing a tiger costume or a bulldog costume or any type of costume. It's a spirit within you. And I think that's resonated with our kids, you know, when we had our all-student athlete meeting and what that means, and the video that Bobby Jones narrated so well for us that you put together, and all the different things. So there has been a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement this summer, and certainly it all kind of culminates, I think, with the season opening football game on campus here tonight.
You mentioned tonight's game. Tomorrow, Reddies fans can catch both the volleyball and cross-country teams in action at home, as well as we've got a jam-packed weekend of events here on campus.
We do. Certainly, no one in the area that loves sports should be bored on Labor Day weekend. We've got the big football game tonight coming up here at 7 o'clock at Carpenter Haygood Stadium, Ruggles Field. And then this weekend, we've got the Betty Wallace Invitational in the Duke Wells Center, and that is Friday and Saturday. The Reddies play at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then they will play again on Saturday as well, and that's at noon. And then there are 2 other games each day, so 10 o'clock on Friday, noon on Saturday, and then 2 other matches each day in that Betty Wallace Invitational for folks to come out and watch our volleyball team. Phil McDaniel's squad got us started last weekend on the road in year 2, picked up a couple of good Division II wins in that first weekend, looking for more this weekend at home. And then cross country is in town for the only time this season for one of their meets. Coach Joyner's squad runs tomorrow night at 6 o'clock over at Ouachita at their Invitational. So hopefully folks can get out and see that as well. But, not only are teams that are in action, when you've got 500 student athletes, every day you see the practices, every day you see the workouts in the gym, the kids around, and it's so great to see campus full, so great to see our athletic facilities in this area that we occupy and campus full with our large group of kids. And then, of course, as I mentioned, it would be exciting to look up in the stands and see all the students, the red zone. There's been a great push on the red zone with Dr. Patterson leading the way, Ricky Reboller, our spirit coordinator, cheer and pom coach, helping with that. And so hope to see a lot of students, a lot of you on the way to the game, come out tonight and join us. Great challenge, taking on Harding, number 7 team in the country, but a great opportunity, too, to go see what the Reddies are made of in week 1.
Well, Sean, as always, thank you for taking the time to join us. Enjoy the game today.
All right, thanks, Hunter.
Once again, that was Athletic Director Sean Jones in the All Care Pharmacy AD Corner. Stop by and see Brian and staff at All Care Pharmacy, located at 3002 West Pine Street in Arkadelphia. And remember, at All Care, we care. Stay tuned as we have much more headed your way right here in the Domino's pregame show on the Henderson State Radio Network.
The state's leader in care is right here in the comfort of your own community. Baptist Health Medical Center Arkadelphia is a full-service hospital. Here, state-of-the-art technology is united with highly qualified physicians and the most quality nursing staff in the region. From major surgery to minor injuries, we care for you because we're your neighbor. And we're backed by Baptist Health, Arkansas's most comprehensive and respected care network. Baptist Health Medical Center Arkadelphia, your community hospital.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more. Visit Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe and More and discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16 plus ounces of premium bone-in French-cut ribeye steak seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you.
Sodexo would like to invite you to a new dining experience on the beautiful campus of Henderson State University.
Who's our meteorologist this year?
Me. Is that what's coming up now?
Oh, no, the player is
Player
up
interviews
next.
Okay.
And check out the all-new Ready Grill. Fresh and
I wonder if RJ will be wearing a bear suit.
period. Sodexo, encouraging you to eat well, live ready.
Who does Central Arkansas start with?
Tulsa. They go to TU.
Welcome back to the Domino's pregame show, as it's now time for our Ready Player Spotlight, brought to you by Baptist Health. And today's spotlight features wide receiver Darian Gray. Darian, how's everything going for you today?
Man, everything's going great. Hunter, thanks for letting me be on the show.
Well, new season is upon us, and the Reddies have much to prove this year, as I know the team wants to improve on last season's go-around. How did fall camp go for you personally and for the team, and what did you see from the team in fall camp?
Man, for me personally, it was hot out there. This is probably one of the hottest and one of the most crucial fall camps that I've been a part of. But the coaches worked as hard, and that's for good reason. They're trying to get us ready to have a better season than last year, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do. So.
Well, comment a little bit, Darian, on the senior leadership that this team possesses. You know, you personally being a senior at the wide receiver position, and how can that translate over into the game here tonight at Carpenter Haygood Stadium?
Well, we got a couple senior leaders that have been ready since they came straight out of high school. So I think the rest of the team, seeing how hungry we are and seeing how hungry we want to win, this year I think they're feeding off that, and we're going to ball this year.
Comment on your relationship a little bit with Coach Maroc. I know he's your position coach. What has he been working you guys the most on in camp?
Well, he's had a lot on his plate because there's about 30 receivers this year that he's had to deal with. Just making sure he can deal with the slots and the outside, the strengths that we have, and just trying to put the players in the right positions to be successful for the team.
Well, I know you've been watching film all week on this triple option attack that Harding's going to bring in tonight. What's the game plan against the Bisons going into this one?
Game plan is to score, and keep scoring, and just ball the whole time.
Ball the whole time.
Tell us a little bit about your major and maybe what your plans are after graduation.
That should be our new hashtag, not No Mere Beast.
I'm probably going back to the Houston area.
Ball all the time.
Ball the time.
What are some of your hobbies outside of football?
Lowercase
Reddy
b.
fans may not know about, or some extracurricular activities that you're involved in on campus.
I like to play sports video games, even though I'm an athlete. The only games I play is like basketball and football games. I'm part of FCA on Mondays or 8 o'clock. Feel free to show up in Wells and be a part of that. And yeah.
Well, Darian, we appreciate you taking the time to get with us. Let's go get a win today, and good luck out there this season.
Appreciate it, honey. Appreciate it.
Once again, that was Reddy wide receiver Darian Gray in the Baptist Health Reddy Player Spotlight. The state's leader in care at Baptist Health is right here in our community. From major surgery to minor injury, Baptist Health Medical Center of Arkadelphia is keeping you amazing. For more information, visit keeponamazing.com or call 1-888-BAPTIST. Stay tuned as there's much more to come right here in the Domino's pregame show on the Henderson State Radio Network.
What if I told you that you could help someone start a small business?
Make
a family's dream of owning their first home a reality.
Weather's up next.
Value of saving to become the first in your family to go to college. Well, if you're banking with Southern Bancorp, you're already doing this and more. Southern Bancorp is a bank unlike any other in Arkansas. We were founded to focus our energy and our efforts on building up rural communities by providing responsible financial services to help them grow. From the small-town business owner dreaming of global markets to the young family dreaming of a home, we're in the business of creating economic opportunity. And by banking with us, you can be too. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at banksouthern.com to learn more. Southern Bancorp, building communities and changing lives. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Subway restaurants are known for our sandwich artists, but our customers are the real creative geniuses.
I like turkey breast, mustard, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and onions.
I'll take the Italian BMT. Make it deluxe with 50% more meat. And add provolone and bacon.
How about rotisserie-style chicken, Chipotle Southwest sauce, spinach, and green peppers?
With our freshly baked breads, your choice of proteins, and an array of crisp veggies, you can create your own masterpiece. What combo will you make today?
To stretch this segment out for a little bit,
shine at Subway.
We might discuss.
The boys were in a real pickle
their
here,
linebackers.
Lots of chat going on in the huddle there, right?
Good linebacking.
Yeah. They decided on a play.
And different responsibilities for each of them.
For the Hot Springs? The Hot Springs? We haven't seen this formation since 1918.
Yeah, that's the same year that Babe Ruth hit the mammoth home run during Hot Springs spring training. They're headed to the line. And there's the snap.
To learn more about the rich sports history in Hot Springs National Park, visit hotsprings.org.
Well, thankfully, the sun has started to dip behind a bank of trees off to the western part here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. That's about an hour and 20 minutes before they told us that the sun would actually set. That's the time that you're actually ticking before kickoff, is when the sun's going to set on a day where it feels like it's 102 degrees on the field. It probably feels a little bit hotter than that. But right now, I mean, it would be Harding that's got a little bit of the advantage because they're on the shaded side of Carpenter Haygood Stadium. It is rather bright and sunny to our right where the Reddies are warming up in their brand new Adidas uniforms. Those are some sharp unis, sharp shirt you got on there too, Cyrus.
Thank you.
And the rest of the athletic department. Currently, they tell us it's 90 degrees, though it feels more like it is 100 degrees because of the humidity and the angle of the sun or whatever. And the sun will set about 7:40. It might be kind of comfortable once you get to the midpoint of the ball game, about halftime, 77 degrees. In the evening, it'll get to a low of 73. There was a little bit of rain on my way from Little Rock today, and I understand it did rain in Little Rock earlier this evening, but up here in Arkadelphia, it is actually beautiful. Mostly blue skies, just a couple of wispy clouds. Doesn't look like there's much breeze at all. None whatsoever.
No, the wind's under 5 miles an hour, and I think it's going to stay that way all night. So if you're a kicker or a punter, you're probably thanking the weather gods for that.
Yeah, we're going to thank for at least the angle of the sun behind those trees right now, as it is starting to cool off a little bit. And more than anything, I don't feel like I'm actually just getting out of the shower, which is what it's felt like for the last 30 or 40 minutes while you're sitting here in this booth. Real quick, points of strength for both of these teams, Cyrus. The linebacking core. I mean, if you look at the Reddies defensively, they got a lot of returners, but all 4 starters at linebacker have played an appreciable amount of time for the Reddies over the last at least couple of seasons. But there's no doubt they're led by Cameron Saunier, who's in his 4th year now here at Henderson State. He has 18 career tackles for loss, over near 160 career tackles. They lean heavily on him, but linebacking is a strength for the Reddies, and it'll get tested by this rushing attack for Harding that sometimes grinds up over 320 yards per game.
You're absolutely right. One of the things we actually talked about with Scott Maxfield, and we'll touch on this later when we bring him in for the interview, is the fact that the Reddies have switched back from a 4-2-5 defense to a 3-4 this year, and I think that's going to be an advantage for the Reddies because, as you said, linebacker is a position of strength, and when you run 4 linebackers instead of 2 linebackers, you get your best players on the field, and that's what football and really all sports is all about, is getting your playmakers on the field in good positions to make plays. And so next to Cam Saunier, we're going to see another Cameron Scholes. He's a redshirt junior out of Atlanta, Texas. He's got 60 tackles on his career. Logan Edwards will get some playing time as well. And then Ricardo Anderson, who he's listed as a nickel back, but in this defense, especially against this Harding team, he's going to be headed up to the line of scrimmage, going to play about 4 or 5 yards off the ball, and his first priority is going to be those slot backs and stopping the runs to the left and the right side, and basically and trying to push the slot backs back into the middle of the field to help the linebackers get tackles. Ricardo's, if you're looking for one guy who's physically matured more than anybody on this Reddies team, I think it starts and ends with Ricardo. He came on at the end of last year and started a few games at the end of the last season and has just been a monster in the weight room. Looks totally different. He's a well-built kid, and I think he's gonna be prepped for a big season. I know his position coach Ryan Coleman said he's got all conference and potentially all American potential. So I'm looking for some big numbers from Ricardo this season.
Well, they'll be looking to stop Tristan Tucker. You're gonna have to watch out for Cole Chansey, who'll get quite a lot of carries after he led the Great American Conference in rush yards last year. He's ground up over 1,300 career yards. Taylor Bissell, and a quarterback for Harding, Preston Payton out of Burlington, Texas. Of course, he'll run it more than he throws it in this Harding offense. It can be so difficult to see who has the football when you're looking at even just the way that they list them on the roster. Almost every ball carrier for Harding is 5'10" or shorter, and the offensive linemen are 6 feet or taller. So I mean, they hide the ball in those smaller running backs behind a bigger offensive line. You never quite know who has the football. They play some sleight of hand.
You're absolutely right, and I think that's one of the things that's so dangerous about an offense like Harding's. I mean, when you look at their fullbacks between Cole Chansey, who, like you said, rushed for about 1,300 yards last year. His backup is Romar Reeds, and he's not, his career hasn't been too shabby as well. In 2 seasons at Harding, he's rushed for over 600 yards and averaging nearly 7 yards a carry. And so as a defensive coach, you assume, hey, between these 2 guys, you got 2,000 yards rushing. You expect them to get the ball, but there's no favoritism in an offense like Harding's. If you key on the fullback, they're going to pitch it, and the quarterback will pull it. So you can't just count on Chansey and Reeds running it up the gut the whole time. You're going to have to watch out for the starting slot backs, and then the guys who come in and give those guys a breather. They're just as dangerous as well. So no plays off for the Reddies tonight.
We're about 31 and a half minutes until the opening kick here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. The Reddies and the Harding Bisons opening up the season for the 2nd consecutive year. It is also opening day around the rest of the GAC, and I think it's all of Division II football that opens up today. So the last day of August is really the first day of football season for everybody in D2. So in just a moment after the break, Cyrus will take you around the Great American Conference, and this is the Henderson State Sports Network.
Do you have an idea that you'd like to see on a t-shirt? Print Mania can help you turn your idea into
Hey,
a
when
reality.
you do the,
Print Mania
when you do
offers
the-
a variety
the
of t-shirts for you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Print Mania also does embroidery and engraving. Come visit us at 624 Main Street in Arkadelphia or call 870-246-3803. Print Mania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
What if I told you that you could help someone start a small business, make a family's dream of owning their first home a reality, or even help a young child learn the value of saving to become the first in her family to go to college? Well, if you're banking with Southern Bancorp, you're already doing this and more. Southern Bancorp is a bank unlike any other in Arkansas. We were founded to focus our energy and our efforts on building up rural communities by providing responsible financial services to help them grow. From the small-town business owner dreaming of global markets to the young family dreaming of a home, we're in the business of creating economic opportunity. And by banking with us, you can be too. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at banksouthern.com to learn more. Southern Bancorp, building communities and changing lives. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, locally owned and operated in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Our family is committed to yours. Our experienced rehabilitation team specializes in physical, occupational, and speech therapy, all working together to get you home. Call and book a tour with us today at 870-246-6337 or visit our website at twinrivershr.com. Again, that's twinrivershr.com.
Back inside Carpenter Haygood Stadium, we continue the Domino's pregame show. I forgot to mention our weather forecaster in the last segment, brought to you by Wingstop in Hot Springs, setting up shop since 1994, putting flavor first. Stop by on 3954 Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Give them a visit at Wingstop. All right, now we did promise a look around the GAC. Here is Cyrus Wittig with the Southwest Sporting Goods scoreboard update.
Well, Phil, it's now time for the Southwest Sporting Goods scoreboard update. At Southwest Sporting Goods, we're proud to offer a wide selection of sporting goods to fit your needs. Give us a call today at 1-888-246-2311 or stop by in Arkadelphia at 115 South 6th Street. Again, that is in Arkadelphia. And here are your scores from around the GAC. In action already in the GAC Great American Conference, we have some games that have actually started. So, if you will, Henderson Harding's a little bit of the nightcap in the Southern Arkansas Tech game. Southern Arkansas has jumped out to a quick 14-0 lead on their in-state rival. So 14-0. Southern Arkansas leads Arkansas Tech in a battle of the Oklahoma schools. Southeastern Oklahoma State is all over Southern Nazarene. 157 total yards for Southeastern Oklahoma, just 5 total yards for Southern Nazarene. Again, that's 14-0 Southeastern over Southern Nazarene in the Oklahoma section of the GAC. Also on tap tonight around the Great American Conference is Ouachita Baptist will be visiting Northwestern Oklahoma. That game was scheduled to start at 6 o'clock, but unable to track down a score on that one quite yet. We'll get that to you as soon as we get an update.
They never quite get us the scores from Alva on time. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
We probably won't even see a score until tomorrow.
Well, when we see it, you'll hear it. So when we get news, we'll relay that information on to you. Obviously, here at Carpenter Haygood, Harding visits Henderson State, and then finally Oklahoma Baptist visits the East Central University Tigers. So that about wraps it up from the GAC. Look, 2 games, or I guess 2.5 games in action with a few more games left to go. So that is your Southwest Sporting Goods scoreboard update.
You mentioned going to Alva. The Reddies visit Alva in 2 weeks. They'll be in Russellville at Arkansas Tech next week. And don't have another home game until the 4th week of the season, September 22nd. They'll welcome the Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State University. But after this one today, all the games are on Saturdays. So this is the only midweek game, I guess you could say, so to speak. No other Thursday games for the rest of the year. And we'll have night games for the next 3 weeks and then day games for the remainder of the regular season. All right, the Reddies have returned to the locker room, so have the Bisons. The show band of Arkansas has appeared across the way here at the stadium, and they've lined up, as they usually do, in their pregame alignment. Look like Braveheart, ready to charge down the hill, if you ask me, but they've been doing that for years. And it is the usual pregame stuff going on as they continue to file in to Carpenter-Haygood Stadium. Kickoff in about 26 minutes. All right, we did sit down and talk with head coach Scott Maxfield, entering his 14th year as the head coach of Henderson State football. We'll be joined by Scott Maxfield after the break as the Domino's pregame show rolls along on the Henderson State Sports Network.
Don't be sidelined due to your injury. The orthopedic team at Texarkana Surgery Center.
And you have the coach, is that right?
I do.
Okay, great.
Get back in the game. Texarkana Surgery Center, taking special care of our community for over 20 years.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more.
Welcome back to the Domino's pregame show. We're getting set for kickoff.
Discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16 plus ounces of premium bone-in French cut ribeye steak, seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks, and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you.
We've been hearing a lot of concerns about Domino's new bread twists. Apparently, you've been ordering them as a decoy to keep others away from your precious pizza. But watching the bread twists go so fast because everyone else wanted them made you want them too. While we feel you, we'd like to acknowledge that this is probably the best tasting problem you've ever had. There are worse things than choosing between either pizza or warm dunkable bread twists and flavors like Parmesan, garlic, and cinnamon. Like deciding whether to wait for a parking spot or just walk further. Choosing between telling dad jokes or wearing mom jeans. Or picking your favorite child. So when it comes to giving you more choices between ridiculously delicious menu options, all we can say is, we're sorry. You're welcome.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's new bread twist or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each. 2-item minimum handmade pan pizzas may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
As a kid, I wanted to snowboard all over the world, but then I contracted bacterial meningitis. My legs were amputated below the knees. Thanks to great care, I became a professional athlete. Put your money where the miracles are. Give to your Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Welcome back to the Domino's pregame show. We're getting set for kickoff for opening day on this Thursday at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium. The Reddies taking on Harding University. And we're in the coach's office talking with head coach Scott Maxfield, starting your 14th year here at Henderson State, Coach Max. And for the second year in a row, opening against this Harding Bison. You guys handled them pretty good last year in what was a tight game. What would be keys to defeating Harding again this year?
Well, like any first game of the season, it's going to come down to mistakes, early season mistakes, substitution errors, penalties, turnovers. Special teams are huge early in the year. Last year we had a couple of bad special teams plays. We gave up a big punt return, and they blocked one of our field goals. But we responded and had a fake punt for a touchdown, which was huge in the fourth quarter that kind of put us over the top, gave us a 2-score lead. And late in the game against them, that's key. But, the key to beating Harding, you got to get up on them some point in the game where they have to press a little bit, where they can't run their ball control offense. And we have to understand they're going to make some first downs. They're going to control the clock. Time of possession usually is going to go in their favor just because of the style of offense that they run. So when we get the ball offensively, we have to be very good with it. We've got to move the chains, make some first downs, and hopefully we can put some points up on the board early and try to get them out of their game plan.
A lot to learn about your team because it's opening day, and also there's a lot of changes, certainly on the offensive side of the ball, where there are many new starters, and then on the defensive side of the ball, where you guys are going with a different alignment. Let's start offensively, and the guys that will handle the ball more often than anyone else are the quarterbacks, and you got 2 new quarterbacks that will see some playing time this year. Saw Richard Stametti at the top of the depth chart. He's the JUCO transfer from Mount San Antonio. Tell us about him.
Well, Richard and Cody both had really good camps. Richard was just a little bit more consistent throughout fall camp, and that's why he's getting the nod. But I think Cody will get into the game at some point. But Richard is more of a pocket guy. He's got good field awareness, throws the ball well. Cody's more of an athletic guy that can probably extend plays a little bit longer and do some things with his athleticism. But we feel confident with both those guys, and we just need Richard to take care of the ball early and make good decisions. That's another thing going into the first game. It's okay to punt, don't force the issue and turn the football over.
There is experience at wide receiver. Ben Johnson, John Murray, all returning, and so is Darian Gray. So, I mean, there's some trust there with the guys that he can throw to, at least trust from the coach's end, but he's got to build trust from the quarterback's end.
Well, I think one of the strengths of our football team offensively is our receiving core. We've got some really good players there. Those three guys you just mentioned have all played a lot of football games for us and had good plays for us in the past. And then we've added a couple of pieces to them as well, some explosive players that I think will add to that receiving core. So I think that if we can get the ball out in space and get our passing game going, I think that we make some big plays, and that's going to be a key to this game. Playing a team like Harding, they've got, I think, 10 starters, 9 starters back on their defensive unit from a team that made the national semifinals last year. So we've got to get the ball out there to some of those playmakers, and hopefully they can make some big plays for us.
What about the two running backs that we might see mostly, Cobra Jones, Logan Moraney? I know Logan, an ASU transfer, hurt all of last year. Cobra was injured for part of it, but he showed some flashes as well as a freshman.
Yeah, we were really beat up last year at running back. Logan tore his ACL in fall camp last year, had the red shirt. Rehabbed it, came back strong, didn't go through spring football, but had a good fall camp. Looks really good, explosive. He's got some speed. Cobra broke his wrist last year and was limited a lot throughout the season as a true freshman. And he's come on and had some good practices for us. Like for him to be a little bit more consistent. But, we feel like both of those guys are quality running backs, and it's all going to come down to the offensive line as far as those two guys go. They've got to do a great job of opening up some running lanes for those guys to give them an opportunity to show what they've got.
And that's really one of the areas of youth, I guess would be the right term. There are guys that have played games but not necessarily started at all in 4 of those positions. But then there's Daniel Moore at left guard, and he has started a lot of games for you. Well,
Daniel's the anchor of the offensive line without a doubt, and he started a lot of football games for us and is the leader of that group. Tyler Barnes at center started maybe one game last year but played some. Cliff Jackson, our left tackle, has always been a backup, but he'll have his opportunity tonight. So, we need those guys to really step up their game. I'm excited to see what they'll do. I know they're excited. You can't be a great player, a really outstanding, solid starter until you get that opportunity. So those opportunities are now here in front of those guys, and I'm excited for their chance to show what they've got.
Now, in defense, there's a lot of experience returning. Robert Thomas, the two Camerons, Scholes and Saunier, Logan Edwards, Mercado Anderson, Malik Brown, just to name a few. But there's a different alignment going back to a 3-4, a change from last year. How does that change any effectiveness, I guess, for your hope as a head coach?
Well, I think the 3-4 kind of fits our personality a little bit better, and we've had a lot of success with that defensive alignment in the past, and our kids are really comfortable with that. I think they know that scheme really well. We can make adjustments with it. I think as a coaching staff, we're a little bit more comfortable with that alignment as well. So all those guys have played in that. We kind of went to the 3-4 a little bit last year towards the end of the year when we started having a little bit more consistency on defense. And, that's something that I hope that we'll be able to do throughout the season. But I feel really confident about our depth on defense. I think we've got some quality players there, not only our starters, but we got some backups that I don't think we're hesitant to put in the football game. And I think that's a key, especially tonight playing Harding with their option offense, is to keep our guys fresh, especially if they start making some first downs, get where we can run to the football and be fresh for the fourth quarter.
You've got a new offensive coordinator, too, new defensive coordinator. Tell us about Hayden Hawk and what he brings as an OC. I know he's highly touted, and he had a really good career in the MIAA as a quarterback.
Well, Hayden's an outstanding young coach. He's young, and he's really unproven as an offensive coordinator. But, when I interview young coaches, I always have in the back of my mind, could this guy become a coordinator? And just the way things worked out on our coaching staff this year, he got that opportunity. And, playing quarterback, and he was at SMU with Chad Morris, and he was up at Eastern Michigan. And so he's been around a lot of good coaches and had an outstanding career as a quarterback. So I feel really confident about Hayden. I'm sure that there'll be some some situations that he's not comfortable with being his first game as a coordinator, but the only way you become a good coordinator is to get put in the fire. So we're going to put him in the fire, and I think he'll do a great job for us.
Scott, you've been around the game a long time. This is your 14th year as the head coach at Henderson State, but it is opening day. You guys have kind of been banging into each other now for a few weeks. I know there's a lot of excitement, but one of the stock question I have on opening day is, do you feel the butterflies? Do you still get nervous as we're just a couple hours before kickoff?
Well, yeah, I still get a little uptight. I still feel the feeling that you want to feel. As a competitor, you always want to go out, and I'm excited about the opportunity to showcase our 2018 team. And, probably not as excited as I once got as a younger coach, but, with the experience comes, you approach things a little bit different, and you try to control your emotions a little bit where they don't affect your team in a negative way. But I think you'll see an excited football team tonight, and if we play well, we can play with these guys and make it a really good football game.
I'm not sure the listeners can see it, but I can see the look in Coach Max's eyes. He's definitely feeling it. Scott, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
I appreciate it.
That's head coach Scott Maxfield. Stick around to look at the starting lineups for the Reddies and the Bisons coming up right after this on the Henderson State Sports Network.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared.
Unfortunately, it looks like we have the national anthem at 11 on the clock. So
I start to cough.
we'll end up probably taking a quick break and then doing.
My parents have to take me to the hospital.
Today, 1 out of 13 children suffer from some form of asthma, accounting for nearly 1/3 of all emergency room visits.
I feel like I'm choking. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. A little whistle sound comes out when I breathe.
But while your child may suffer from asthma, asthma doesn't have to make your child suffer. There are simple ways you can prevent your child's next attack. To learn more, log on to www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA, the Ad Council, and this station.
We're back inside Carpenter Haygood Stadium on the Domino's pregame show. Why not enjoy a fresh on Domino's pizza? Call now, 870-246-31. Go to Domino's.com. Download the Domino's app. Here in Arkadelphia, Domino's is at 3120 Pine Street. And I'm Phil Elson with Cyrus Wittig. We're about 13 minutes or so until the opening kickoff. And want to get you a look at the starting lineups while we have a moment. They're going to have the anthem played in a couple of minutes. So if they do start the anthem, we'll send it to a break. But starting lineup on offense for the Reddies. You're going to have Richard Stametti at quarterback, 6'2", 215-pounder. He's out of Las Vegas and threw for just 766 yards in Mount San Antonio College over the last 2 years, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He'll be handing it off to Logan Maraney, who's out of Little Rock Central, a transfer from Arkansas State, stands 5'9", 185, missed last year due to injury. He had averaged over 7.5 yards per carry with ASU. Cobra Jones also gets some carries. Sophomore out of LaPorte, Texas, carried 42 times for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns last year. Who do they throw to? Ben Johnson, senior receiver. He's caught 67 balls for just over 1,000 yards, averaging 15 yards a carry and 9 career touchdowns. Darian Gray also lining up at receiver, senior out of Huffman, Texas. He's the speedster and also a punt returner for the Reddies. 52 career catches, 3 touchdowns, 546 yards. Look for John Murray to get some looks also in the passing game. A senior out of Tyler Junior College. His hometown is Houston. 27 balls for 251 career yards. Up front, I mentioned Daniel Moore's at left guard. Tyler Barnes is the center. Clifford Jackson is at left tackle. Hugo Amati at right guard. And Blake DeBala is at right tackle. Here's the starting defense for the Reddies.
Well, starting defense for the Reddies, it starts at defensive end with senior end Lauren Johnston, the cover boy of the game program for the opening day against Harding. Lauren is a senior out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and transferred from Scottsdale Community College. He's got 26 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss on his career. The freshman Jefferson Collins gets the start at nose tackle. He's out of Houston, Texas. And at the other end, it's going to be Robert Thomas, son of Reddies great Robert Thomas Sr. He's from Cedar Hill, Texas. 37 tackles on the career for Robert. At outside linebacker, it's Cameron Scholes from Atlanta, Texas. 60 tackles on his career. Inside linebacker is Cameron Saunier, over almost 160 tackles in his 3 years in Arkadelphia. He's from Webster, Texas. Logan Edwards is another linebacker for the Reddies, 33 tackles in his career. Nickel back is Mercado Anderson. He's got 31 tackles for the Reddies in 2 years as a Henderson State Ready. Shane Sanders will be the cornerback. C.J. Jones also at the other side at corner. Strong safety and free safety is Malik Brown and Bowen Sweeney, respectively. When we come back from the anthem, we'll give you the Harding starting lineups.
We'll actually keep it here for the anthem as the show band of Arkansas lines up. Going to have the colors presented by the ROTC here at Henderson State. They're led by the Old Glory flag, the Arkansas Diamond State flag in tow. And a decent crowd showing up for this Thursday night, all standing at attention. And a halfway decent group of fans that have made their way from Searcy, a couple hours away, up to the northeast in the state of Arkansas, and they are all standing at attention too. So without any further ado, here's the show band of Arkansas at Henderson State with our national anthem. Of course, that'll take him right into the Henderson State alma mater. Nice job by the show band of Arkansas. They always do a great job, whatever it is they're playing. So we'll hopefully be hearing the Henderson fights on quite a bit today. That means the ball is moving Henderson's way, and they got the ball into that end zone a few times. All right, let's have a quick look at the lineup offensively for the Harding Bison. And they are so dangerous on the ground. Preston Payton is the quarterback, sophomore out of Burleson, Texas. Not expected to throw much, a career completion percentage of 28.5%, but he also runs the ball, 143 yards last year and 38 carries. Tristan Tucker will be a slot back, 24 carries, 8.5 yards a carry last year. He's a sophomore from Orlando, Florida. So is Taylor Bissell. Bissell carried the ball just twice last year for 27 yards. We'll get some carries today. Cole Chansey is the fullback. He led the GAC in rushing last year. 1,347 yards, 15 touchdowns. That was third best in GAC. Romar Reeds, also out of Pine Bluff, will get some carries. Reeds averaged 7 yards per carry last year. All right, that's a look at the lineups for both Henderson and for Harding University. And when we come back on our Domino's pregame show, we have some keys to the game as we're about 7.5 minutes from the opening kickoff. Stay tuned. More after the break on the Henderson State Sports Network.
Do you have an idea that you'd
Is
like
there
to see in the
another
future?
commercial break
Print
after
Mania
this?
Can help you turn your idea into a reality. Print Mania off.
No.
No, there's an ID, right? That's it?
Yeah. Are you ready for the go to the game bump at the end of this?
It's at 624 Main Street, Arkadelphia, or call 870.
So there is not another commercial break, so we just used up the last
Mania,
break,
proud
correct?
supporters of Henderson.
This is the last break.
That's fine.
on.
Then play the go to the game bump.
Okay. If you need another one, I can add a spot.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Okay, cool. And somewhere in there, we'll need the legal.
Play since Jackie Robinson played Hot Springs spring training ball.
Go for it.
All right, it's the Hot Springs on 3. To learn more about the rich sports history in Hot Springs National Park, visit hotsprings.org.
Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, locally owned and operated in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Our family is committed to yours. Our experienced rehabilitation team specializes in physical, occupational, and speech therapy, all working together to get you home. Call and book a tour with us today at 870-246-6337 or visit our website at twinrivershr.com. Again, that's twinrivershr.com.
SCM Architects have been serving Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. You'll recognize the firm's work on campus in the design of the new dining hall, the Charles Dunn Student Recreation Center, Sturgis Honors Hall, and East and West Residence Hall. This year, SCM Architects have been privileged to work on the restoration of the Caddo Center cafeteria that will house an exhibit of Native American artifacts from the Joint Educational Consortium Hodges Collection. Learn more about the firm's higher education, commercial, interior design, historic preservation, and master planning projects at scmarchitects.com.
Counting down to the opening kickoff, about 5 minutes. Reddies are about to emerge out of the locker room, but first they will let the Harding Bisons mosey their way out of the visiting side ever so slowly in their white uniforms with black helmets, black numbers, small black lettering above the numbers. Of course, they do have that the black Bison logo outlined in bronze. Very simple uniforms for them. The Reddies switch uniforms and actually switch companies that make the uniforms over the course over last year. Now they're with Adidas, and Adidas fit them out very nicely, especially if you're a radio broadcaster, because the numbers are big and bright and shouldn't have any trouble being able to tell at least the uniform number of who has the football. And it's got Reddies in somewhat diagonally shifted lettering above the numbers. And they do have the old-fashioned helmets, though, with the numerals in white and the white stripe going right down the middle. Good-looking team today as Henderson comes out with the captains first to go out there for the opening coin toss. See, we got our captains this year. Lauren Johnston, one of the captains on defense. He'll start at defensive line.
Looks like Malik Brown is starting strong safety. The leader of the Reddies defensive backfield is out there, as is Daniel Moore, as is to be expected, the one returning starting offensive lineman.
And Richard Stemeti.
That's right.
Who is the JUCO transfer who's going to start at quarterback. So I mean, that does say something, that even though it's his first year on the team, he has been chosen to be a team captain for today's game, go out there for the opening coin toss. Before we forget, we do have to make sure in order of business as the Reddies take the field, they're led by the ROTC, they're led by the cheerleaders, and also led by the helmet vehicle.
Yeah,
what do you call that?
The
helmet buggy.
In baseball, it's the bullpen. I guess it's the bullpen helmet, but that's the Reddies dune buggy. We got to come up with a flashy name for that thing.
The helmet dune buggy.
I mean, I don't know. I think we can do better, but it's game one, so we got a long time to figure out this one. We'll
have to play around with that a little bit. We also have to play around with a 10-second pause for our stations on the network to identify themselves. You're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Sports Network. Well, welcome back inside Carpenter Haygood Stadium. Phil Elson next to Cyrus Wittig. And back of the studios running things once again, as he has nearly every year that we've been doing Henderson State football, is our good friend Phil Raines. Henderson State football today brought to you in part by All Care Pharmacy, by Baptist Health, by Wingstop, Visit Hot Springs, Larry Pennington Insurance, SCM Architects, Southwest Sporting Goods, Southwest Auto, Jeremy Hughes Shelter Insurance, Fat Boys Fine Foods, Southern Bancorp, and by State Farm Insurance, David Bost. And I was going to look for our officiating crew, and I hadn't seen it on our board here. We got a board that does tell us the officiating crew. David Wright is the head referee today. Robert Conley is the umpire. Jason Gardner is the head linesman. Patrick Irwin, the line judge. Brad Solomon, the field judge. Lindsey Smith is the side judge. Eric Looney is the back judge. The clock is run by Doug Gross. The play clock is run by John Cannon. All right, keys to the game. One, I think this is interesting because if you can take Harding, if you force Harding into some third and long, make them change their approach a little bit, you can stop them on first down and second down. This is not a team that passes the ball very well. That'd be one key to the game. And also, as Scott Maxfield said, get out to a lead in this game. Make them play from behind. That's what happened last year.
Absolutely. The Reddies got out to a 15-point lead after a 46-yard fake punt pass from Cody Michael to A.J. Smith that gave the Reddies a 15-point lead. And like you said, Harding came back and scored a touchdown, but it took them 7 minutes to do so, and by the time they got within one possession, they were pretty much out of time, and the Reddies won it up in Searcy. So we're hoping for a little bit of deja vu as we're almost set for kickoff here, and I'm ready to get this thing underway.
Well, it looks like Harding won the toss. They elect to receive, and they've got their return man, Frank Herbert, near the end zone to our right. Handling the kickoff for the Reddies, at least for this one, is Timo Martinez, a freshman out of Dardanelle, expected to have a pretty big lead. Kicking off from the 35-yard line, going left to right, and we're underway with a high and over-end kick. Will be returned about a yard out of the end zone up the right hash mark, and they are popped just before the 20-yard line. There are about 5 or 6 Reddies that crashed hard into Viante Williams. And about a 19-yard return or so. We'll see where they mark him down, just short of the 20. So call that about a 20-yard return, and that was a big hit.
It was. The forward momentum of Viante was stopped immediately, and a good start to the Reddies special teams. Coach Max mentioned that in the interview. You got to be solid on special teams. The Reddies got a good start on the kickoff.
Well, Harding, of course, only goes with one receiver. That's wide to the right side. They'll have that triple back threat, double slot backs either side of quarterback Preston Payton, and the fullback is going to get the handoff. That's Cole Chansey. Chansey tries to go over left tackle, and he's knocked down after a gain of about 3 yards. Mark him down to the 23. 3-yard gain will bring up 2nd down and 7.
Nice handoff to Chansey there. Kept it simple, but good pursuit by Malik Brown, and Chansey slipped.
2nd down and 7. The ball's right between the hash marks. Reddy's going with a couple of extra down linemen, especially against this team that sometimes will gain over 400 yards on the ground. They averaged just short of 350 on the ground last year. Chansey again over right tackle, near the 1st down marker, brought down just short of the 30. On the tackle, Logan Edwards for Henderson State. Going to be 3rd down and short. First 3rd down conversion attempt for Harding, and this is probably where they'd like it to be, a 3rd and short from the 29-yard line. And they go with a quarterback keeper, Payton, right up the middle, and he does get the 1st down. Dove over the 30 to the 31 for a gain of 2 yards.
And that's just what Harding wants to do. Stay ahead of the chains. 3 yards on 1st down, 4 yards on 2nd. A simple quarterback sneak gets them the 1st down. But again, like Coach Mack said, you can't be frustrated. The Bisons are going to get a few 1st downs. Henderson's just got to make them earn every single yard.
Very tight formation by Harding here in the 4th down of the drive. Ball's at the 31 after their first down. Payton calling out the play, takes a look at his left armband and comes up under center Bryce Bray. Puts a slot back in motion from the left, fakes the handoff, and is brought down very quickly. Just got over the line of scrimmage. Looked like he might have been tripped up, and finished by Cameron Saunier, picking up his 1st tackle of the year. It'll be 2nd down and 8, so they did give him a gain of 2 yards.
I believe Jefferson Collins was in there as well. It's pretty impressive when you have a redshirt freshman starting on the defensive line, especially against a team like Harding that is going to run the ball 60, 70 times a game.
Reddies have big Jefferson Collins at nose tackle. It's his 2nd year after redshirting last season, 6 foot 240. And he'll be tested here by Chansey. Chansey lowers his head, got a good push by the line, over the 35, knocked down to the 36. 4-yard gain. This will be 3rd down and about 5.5. That's about where you'd like to see him.
Absolutely. Like we said, we want to keep the Bisons behind the chains, make them go outside or air it out on 3rd down. They want to go to the air as little as possible, but the Reddies want to throw them or get them into throwing situations rather.
Again, they'll go with no wide receivers. Do have a tight end lined up on the left side. Chansey at fullback and Payton under center. Fakes the handoff to the fullback. There's a flag thrown as the pitch goes right side. He's knocked down short of the 1st down, like near the 40-yard line. And there was a flag on the play that was thrown just before the pitch.
Flag looks like it's on Harding's side. Could be an illegal formation possibly, but no team pumping their fists can be an offsides on Henderson State.
Unfortunately, you can see that quite a few times. It was 3rd down and 5, so this would give Harding a 1st down. And they do move the chains. Ball's placed to the 41. So they got a first down on 3rd and short, then they get a first down on a Henderson penalty, the first of the game. Harding lines up a wide receiver wide either side of the formation. Ball on the right hash mark from the 41 in Harding territory. Bison's moving right to left. Payton came under center, fakes the snap, and he'll take a new play call from the far sideline. Head coach of the Bisons, Paul Simmons, his second year, longtime OC. And Payton under center again. Triple back. He gets the handoff just in time, but the Reddies swallow it up. They give him forward progress to the 41-yard line. I tell you, they almost got Payton before the handoff.
That was right. The Reddies blew up that exchange, and when Cole Chansey looked up, he was met by, again, that big freshman, Jefferson Collins, who brings Chansey down for his second tackle of the evening.
Reddies being very quick there defensively as Harding comes up to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10.
A lot of fake motion. Harding's going to run. The slot backs are going to fake like they're starting to play. It's a fake motion trying to get the Reddies to bite.
Tucker and Bissell are the slot backs. Bissell in motion right to left. They fake the handoff, going to throw on 2nd and 10. The pass is caught at the 49-yard line of Harding, but a very quick tackle made by Shane Sanders, the new Reddy cornerback, a freshman from Tallahassee. It's a gain of about 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down from the 49-yard line. They need the opposing 49, so 3rd down and 2.
So a quick early pass play for Harding. Not a very pretty throw and not a very pretty catch. So that pass shows you that Harding's strength is on the ground and not in the air.
3rd down and 2, and Payton comes up under center again. 10-13 to play in the first quarter. Henderson stops them quickly. A huge tackle made on Chansey, and coming up from the Reddy secondary.
I believe that was Khalil Mitchell, the junior from Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
6'1", 230-pound. Khalil, you can see him creeping up there. He's got dreadlocks.
That's right.
You can see him creeping up through the gaps. And on 3rd down and 3, the Reddies force Harding into their first punt. So we'll see what Darian Gray can do. Darian has averaged 9 yards a return over his career, and he's got one that he immediately calls for a fair catch. It'll bounce inside the 10. It goes into the end zone just before the Harding coverage could get to the football. And Henderson will have their first possession, 1st down and 20. 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. All right, we do have immediate timeout. We'll step aside for a break. About 9.5 left in this first quarter. 0-0 score. Reddies get the ball quickly. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
What if I told you that you could help someone start a small business, make a family's dream of owning their first home a reality, or even help a young child learn the value of saving to become the first in their family to go to college? Well, if you're banking with Southern Bancorp, you're already doing this and more. Southern Bancorp is a bank unlike any other in Arkansas. We were founded to focus our energy and our efforts on building up rural communities by providing responsible financial services to help them grow. From the small-town business owner dreaming of global markets to the young family dreaming of a home, we're in the business of creating economic opportunity. And by banking with us, you can be too. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at banksouthern.com to learn more. Southern Bancorp, building communities and changing lives. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
First play from scrimmage for the Reddies this year, and before the play even is snapped, we've got a flag thrown by the umpire, and Henderson has a false start before their first snap of the season.
Well,
can't like where that's going to go. Backwards 5 yards, bringing up 1st down and 15 from the 15-yard line.
And just like Henderson State wants to keep Harding behind the chains, I think one of the keys to the Henderson offense is with a new quarterback and new offensive line, stay in front of the chains. So not a great first play there.
Stameti's back in the shotgun on 1st down and 15. He'll get the snap. He'll give the ball to Cobra Jones, and he's met very quickly by a couple of big off defensive linemen. Jones doesn't go down. That's Logan Moraney. Probably he does not go down, but he was unable to pick up any yardage. They said he had forward progress to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd down and 15. Reddies are going left to right in the maroon uniforms. They'll line up 3 receivers to the right side of Stameti. And again, it's Mulroney in the backfield. He puts Ben Johnson in motion out of the right slot. Johnson lining up more or less as a tight end now. And he'll have another false start on the Reddies as a flag is thrown by the far side judge. That's already 3 penalties on Henderson, less than 6 minutes in.
Reddies definitely moving in the wrong direction here. Kind of hard to believe. Harding only got 2 first downs and punted, but they're definitely winning the field possession battle as Henderson State's not doing themselves any favors.
If you listen to the interview with Coach Max, you can tell he believes that the field position game is pretty big in a ball game like this. He said, don't be afraid to punt. If you got to punt, don't force a throw, but hey, you don't want to have to go 2nd down and 20. Reddies stay on the ground. Mulroney up the middle. Not a lot of room there. Gets to the 13-yard line. And we'll bring up 3rd down and 17. You'd assume you'd see Stameti's arm here, but we'll see.
This is one of those, like you said, one of those possessions and plays where, you just kind of live to fight another day and don't turn the ball over close to your own goal line. Harding scored on a few short field possessions last year, so Henderson State can't do him any favors this time around.
Twin receivers on the right side, Johnson in the slot. Single receiver, John Murray on the left. Fake the handoff, Stameti flushed in the pocket. He's knocked down and sacked at the 5-yard line. Might have lost the football, but he did dive on top of it. Henderson lost 15 yards on this drive. A couple of penalties, the sack, and really nothing there at all. So that sends the brand new punter, Angel Esperanza, into the end zone. Reddies losing Cody Michael to graduation, and we'll see Esperanza's leg. He averaged 33 yards a kick at Citrus College, his home state of California, last season. And back to receive the punt, Frank Herbert. The punt partially blocked. Or he didn't get all of it. He barely got any of it. And coming up to take the bouncing football on the 25-yard line was Herbert. He tried to run it down the left sideline, but he was out of bounds when he touched the football.
A very dangerous play. Everybody kind of just ran away from the ball there, and including the Reddies players. And luckily, the ball was close enough to the sideline that Herbert just ran his way out of bounds. If that's in the middle of the field, that could have been 6 points.
Going by the first 2 drives and the first 2 special teams plays, this has been a disastrous start. Henderson went backwards 15 yards and then only punts it. I would say there's about a 28, 29-yard punt from Esperanza. And we'll see Henderson tested right here.
I think coming into this game, we knew it was going to be, sort of a defensive battle, and I would have predicted a low-scoring affair with obviously Harding starting returning 10 out of 11 defensive starters, and the one replacement is a kid named Chris Wine, who led all junior college. California junior college players in tackles last year, and then this Harding offense breaking in a new quarterback, new slot backs. So I think the defense on both sides of the ball, the defense has the advantage, which brings up the fact that field position is so important in a low-scoring game. Those hidden yards, those special team yards are so important. And like you said, Henderson State not doing themselves any favors. Harding kind of was able to advance the ball 25 yards down the field from basically doing nothing.
The Harding drive begins at the Henderson 25-yard line. Bison's moving right to left. No score, 7:16 to go in the first quarter. Payton very calmly calling out the play. Very tight formation, single receiver to the right. He pitches it to the slot back, Tristan Tucker, stretching it out right side over the 20-yard line into the 15 for a first down, runs out of bounds.
And just
a gain of 10.
Just a simple toss play out there to Tristan Tucker. Just from the onset in that snap, you could see the Reddies were kind of outmatched on the outside. Last drive for Harding, that was the first time of the game they've gone outside, and the Reddies didn't fly to the ball quite like you'd like to see, but they'll get another chance here as Harding steps up to the line of scrimmage once again.
That was the first carry for one of the slot backs. They'd given Chancey the ball 5 times on the first drive. Chancey stays in there at fullback, got the slot back either side. And the snap to Payton. He's going to keep it himself, running to his left, and he's knocked down to the 11-yard line. Tackles made by Josh Puryear, sophomore from Cordova, Tennessee, gain of 4 yards. And it's second down and 6 with the clock moving to 6:23 to play in the first. Harding looking for the game's first score.
Josh is one of, I believe, 10 linebackers slash nickelbacks you'll see in the game tonight for Henderson State. Looks like Harding may have gotten away with a little false start there as Tristan Tucker takes a false step, but no call, and Harding will come back up to the line of scrimmage.
Bisons grind that play clock down. It's within 5 seconds, and Payton coming up under center again. Gives the ball to Chansey, twisting his way inside the 10-yard line, trying to keep those feet going, but Saunier brought him down at the 7.
Yeah, nothing impressive here from Harding yet. You know, their 10-yard run was the longest of the game, but it's so simple for the Bison. When they can get 4 yards on first, 4 yards on second, you know, when they get to that 3rd and 2 territory, you know, they're tough to stop.
Well, they've always been a methodical sort of offense. They're not afraid to dive right into that line of scrimmage, 3-yard gain, 4-yard gain, and then every once in a while they'll burst one. Of course, they do have the big play capabilities in the passing game for one of every 7 passes they try. Henderson breaking up the play, 2nd down and 3, and down goes Payton in the backfield.
I believe that was 3rd down. That's going to be a force of 4th down, and that was C.J. Jones, a newcomer for the Reddies, coming in from the cornerback position to make that tackle. Good form and technique by C.J., and Harding's gonna have to be forced into a field goal.
Ricardo Anderson also in on the stop. They didn't buy the fake pitch, so it forces Cameron Scott into his first try of the year. Between the hashes will be a 25-yard attempt. The snap's back. Holder Cole Plickenstaff gets it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Harding steps in front at the 4:39 mark in the first quarter. 3-0 Bisons. We'll come back after this break on the Henderson State Sports Network.
Apparently, you've been ordering Domino's new bread twists as a decoy to keep others away from your pizza. Only you suddenly wanted more bread twists for yourself. There are worse things than choosing between either pizza or warm dunkable bread twists in flavors like Parmesan, garlic, and cinnamon, like deciding between going to the dentist or DMV. So when it comes to giving you the best tasting problem you've ever had, sorry, you're welcome.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's new bread twists or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizzas may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Subway restaurants are known for our sandwich artists, but our customers are the real creative geniuses.
I like turkey breast, mustard, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and onions.
I'll take the Italian BMT. Make it deluxe with 50% more meat. And add provolone and bacon.
How about rotisserie-style chicken, Chipotle Southwest sauce, spinach, and green peppers?
With our freshly baked breads, your choice of proteins, and an array of crisp veggies, you can create your own masterpiece. What combo will you make today? Let your creative genius shine at Subway.
Well, Henderson's defense has looked pretty good over the first couple of drives, holding Harding to just 40 total yards. Harding only gets a field goal after starting that last drive of the Ready 25-yard line. Now the Reddies lining up for a return, and Darian Gray catches that kick from the 2. Up he goes down the right side. Makes a man miss. Makes a move to his right and is brought down across the 15-yard line. Good special teams tackle made by Frank Herbert. Herbert with double duty on the returns and punt coverage game as well for Harding. Well, the Reddies' first drive was disastrous. The second drive is going to have to be a lot better than -15. His drive will start at the 16-yard line. Worst part of that first drive, 2 false starts. Can't do anything if you can't snap the football.
And not much chance when you're working with 1st and 15 and then 2nd and 20.
Logan Mulraney behind Richard Stemetti in the pistol. Now he shifts him over to his left, fakes the give, throws into the backfield. Ben Johnson catches it, loses the football. It's picked up by Harding and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Bisons. So yeah, the drive went even worse. Johnson coughed the ball up in the backfield, tried to make a move around his tackler around the 10-yard line. Snapped up immediately. Not a Henderson player within sight.
No.
Bison's up 9-0 pending the extra point.
That play went from bad to worse. Even if Bennett held on to the ball as he's going to the ground, that's going to be a 2-yard loss as Harding in cover 2 with the cornerback just sitting there. But making matters worse, as you said, Harding scores one of the easier touchdowns you'll see.
Doug Johnson with the return. Wow, tough start here for Henderson State, 9-0, and Cameron Scott lining up the point after. Snap back, hold down, kick up, kick good. 10-0, 4:25 left in the first. That is a tough start here for the Henderson State Reddies. You wanted to be up against this Harding club. Now this kind of plays right into Harding's strengths.
And I don't think Harding, obviously this early in the game, would have changed their game plan, either up 10-0, down 10-0. But it's kind of, it's you got to think it's a little bit of a gut punch for Henderson State. Harding's got this highly touted offense, and they can hit you from so many ways. And the defense has played as well as you can really ask for, allowing less than 3 yards a carry and just one pass play for 8 yards, and yet they still find themselves down 10 points and without a positive yard or a single positive play. So obviously a lot of game left to play, but this Reddies offense is it's time to wake up.
Frank Herbert gets credit for the return and the touchdown for Harding. Dre Smith forced the fumble, and it just looked like Johnson lost the ball trying to make a move. Usually a very sure-handed receiver.
The humidity, ball can get slick, forearms can get slick, but no excuse for the drop.
All right, the Reddies won't return this kick. It'll be a fair catch made inside the 5 by Zach Newbill.
Well, that's actually it's a new rule in college football this year, Phil, and it's funny because you can hear the groans from the Ready faithful. Yeah. But a new rule in college football is if you fair catch it from anywhere inside the 25-yard line, it's automatically placed at the 25. So if you're a little wary of your special teams unit, you can get halfway decent field position. So I think if there's probably some confused faces out there in the crowd right now.
That's the first time I've seen that. So
yeah. Hey,
Reddies get the ball at the 25, which right now is the deepest they've gone. Stameti back in the shotgun. That's the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, and no, it is a handoff to Maraney right up the middle, and Logan knocked down short of the 30-yard line.
Well, that's the Reddies moving in a positive direction for the first time tonight. 4-yard play for Logan Maraney, and that's just it's a simple handoff out of the shotgun spread, but when you find yourself at 2nd and 6 versus 2nd and 15, it really makes a difference.
Gain of 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Stameti tells Maraney, get behind me, wants to be in the pistol formation, now sets him up to his left side again. Very low snap, fumbled, dove on top of by Stameti. He had to make sure they didn't fumble it again, right back to Harding. So the Reddies lose those 4 yards and more. They lost 7 yards on the play. Going to push him back to the 22-yard line.
And just as we said, 2nd and 6 is better than 2nd and 15. Now we're back to 3rd and 13. And the Reddies in trouble again. Against such a great defense, can't put yourself in these positions.
Stameti will have to pass the ball for the 2nd time. Trips to his right side. Takes the snap, looks to his right, little shoulder dip. Now he throws the pass, and it's incomplete, nearly intercepted. Intended for John Murray running over the middle. And the linebacker able to knock it down. Almost got 2 hands on the football. Reddies can't pick up a first down, forced to punt with 3:07 left in the first quarter. Harding will get the ball back with a 10-0 lead.
That was Chris Wine out of Brentford, Tennessee. Traveled to California last year where he had 142 tackles in just 1 season. And Wine with a nice pass break up there.
Frank Herbert's back at the Harding 40 and ready to return the second ready punt from Esperanza. This one's a better punt. Calls for the fair catch and brings it in at the 42-yard line.
Well, Harding's not doing a whole lot, but I don't have the graphic in front of me, but the difference in field position in the opening drives is shocking. The Reddies, have started the best field position they've gotten is at the 25-yard line off of a fair catch, and this now Harding starting at the 43 after starting at the Reddies 30-yard line. So Harding working with a shorter field can't do this offense any favors.
36-yard punt. Harding starts at their own 43-yard line. The Bisons have had the ball. Their drives have started at their 20, at the Henderson 25, at the Henderson 11. And now at the Harding 43. They go to Romar Reeds. Reeds hit at the 45-yard line, stays on his feet, falls forward, and kept going all the way to the 47.
Some sloppy tackling there by the Reddies. Can't really blame him. Romar had the ball very high. Looked like some Reddies linebackers had a paw or two in there looking to rip the ball free, but got to wrap and tackle, bring a guy like Romar to the ground, or else, like you said, and like he did, picked up a two extra yards after contact.
A 5-yard gain to the Harding 48. Bison's up 10-0 with possession of the ball. Go with a single receiver either side of quarterback Preston Payton. Payton takes the snap, runs to his left, brought down to the backfield, and there is the second Reddy sack of the night. Brandon Lloyd, the freshman out of Memphis, with his first career sack at Henderson State. And just a loss of 3 yards back to the 46-yard line.
Just a nice pursuit there by Lloyd. Payton tried to roll out and run the option, but Lloyd unblocked, as many, the DN is often unblocked on the option, but he was able to scramble back and read both man and pitch and come away with a tackle for loss.
3rd down and 8, under center. Payton fakes the handoff, pitch right, running with the football is Matt Fuller. Fuller trying to stretch it to the far sideline, and he makes it near midfield, but that's it. And it looks like Harding will have to punt with a little less than 90 seconds left in the quarter. Reddy line stayed with him the whole time, didn't let him stretch it too far.
And Payton's got to be kicking himself there a little bit. They had the numbers, they were matched up, the pitch man and the man responsible for Payton. And Payton, I would say, I think when you watch that on film, is going to say he pitched it a few steps too early and let both Reddy's player focus on the pitch man, and that play went nowhere.
Darian Gray hoping for a returnable punt. Cameron Scott gets into it. A wobbly punt over Gray's head. Calls for the fair catch, but it takes a bounce into the end zone. He really booted that ball.
Yeah, that's a nice leg on Cameron Scott. He was had some kickoff duties last year for Harding, so he's got a big leg. But punting with a rush coming on you versus running up to the 15 yards on a kickoff is different. But Cameron's got a good leg on him. And once again, Reddy's pinned in their own red zone, if you will, coming out.
He kicked that about 60, 65 yards.
Yeah, that was, you would have thought, you wouldn't think you'd be kicking a touchback, snapping the ball from your own or kicking the ball from your own 35, but nice kick from Scott there.
50 seconds on the clock. Reddies with negative 12 yards on the ground. Richard Stemeti in the shotgun takes the snap. Quick throw far side. Caught by Ben Johnson at the 25-yard line. Tries to turn upfield near the sideline. Only got an extra yard. Gain of 6. Nice play by Johnson. Good throw by Stemeti.
Simple cover there. Cover 4 there from Harding. Corners bailed out and simple out route from Ben Johnson. Net 6 yards for the Reddies. Good play on first down.
That is Stemeti's second completion. Puts a tight end in motion left to right. And he'll get a low snap. Gave the ball to Logan Moraney. Tries to go up the middle. Moves the line with him, and he gets to the first down marker +1. Needed 4, got 5, and it looked like Moraney moved the offensive lineman with him.
Yeah, Moraney's a tough guy in there. Obviously only stands 5'9", but he's built like a bowling ball. And when he hits you, you're often going to go backwards. Good push from the line, and the Reddies have their first down of the night.
Well, they trailed 10-0 with 3 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Going to try to get one more play. Looked like they might have gotten that play off after 000s. Pass wide right, caught 30-35. Moraney out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Gain of 6 yards on the last play of the first quarter. So the Reddies getting a little momentum going in the right direction. Well, they do trail 10-0 at the end of one quarter here on opening day. The Reddies trailing Harding 10-0. We'll come back for the second quarter after a break. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
Sodexo would like to invite you to a new dining experience on the beautiful campus of Henderson State University. Come dine with us in our new dining hall or retail locations, including Starbucks.
Like for instance, whoever scored that touchdown for Harding pointed out to me. One of these are on.
I didn't see it either.
You couldn't tell?
Yeah. Ready Grill. Fresh ingredients made to order and certain to put you in that ready spirit. Sodexo, encouraging you to eat well, live ready.
If you miss a player, do you want me to
Baptist Health
when I'm
Medical
talking, do you want me to
Center
correct you, or
is a full-service hospital.
You might have to point it out.
Right,
I'm a little slow.
Right, okay.
Qualified physicians
I'll
and the most
just
quality
I'll
nursing
point
staff
out
in the
when
region. From major surgery to minor injuries, we care for you because we're your neighbor. And we're backed by Baptist Health, Arkansas's most comprehensive and respected care network. Baptist Health Medical Center, Arkadelphia, your community hospital.
Rough numbers on the box score at the start of the second here. Harding leads 10-0 where it counts. They've outgained the Reddies 46 yards to 6. Henderson with -2 yards on the ground. Harding with 38 yards. One turnover that led immediately to the first score. A 15-yard fumble return by Frank Herbert gives Harding their first touchdown. They had a 25-yard field goal on their second drive. It's Reddies football, 2nd down and 4. They're now moving right to left. They're at their own 38-yard line after their first down. Richard Stemeti fakes the handoff, runs out of the pocket, avoiding a sack. Now he sets up at the 30, flips it down the field, and he threw it out of bounds. He felt that rush a second time. They almost got him once, almost got him a second time. He didn't get rid of the football. So the Reddies facing 3rd down and 4.
The Harding defensive line are definitely a force to be reckoned with. Devin Comer and T.J. Winslow on the edge has combined for 13 sacks and over 30 tackles for loss between the two of them. So the newcomers on the Reddies offensive line have some work to do.
Reddies 0 for 2 on 3rd down. 3rd down and 3. They need the 41-yard line. The snap, no drop. The pass thrown, caught. 1st down. Darian Gray out of bounds at the 48-yard line, gain of 10 yards. That's the longest play from scrimmage for Henderson State. Good throw by Stemeti, got rid of it quickly.
Well, that's just taking what the defense is giving you there. Stemeti looked over to the right side, and Darian Gray didn't have anybody within 5 yards of him, so a simple pitch and catch, and the Reddies are 2 yards away from being in Harding territory for the first time tonight.
53rd career catch for Darian Gray, the senior from Huffman, Texas. Now Stemeti takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, loses the football, and he dives on top of it. That's the 2nd time that he has had to dive on top of it. The first time was a bad snap. This was a bad fake handoff.
Yeah, that's just a drive killer right there. Obviously, 2 more downs to go, and 3 because if you get really close, you might really be in 4th down territory as the 1st down marker is at the Harding 42-yard line. But you're moving the ball well, and all of a sudden you're staring at 2nd and 16.
They lose 6 yards back to the 42. Morani's in the backfield. 3 receivers bunched up in the left slot. Low snap, handled by Stemeti. Flips it left side. Johnson with a catch, but a quick tackle made before he could make a move by Tony Beckton. Johnson down to the 45-yard line. Short gain of 3 yards. And now Henderson looking at 3rd down and 13. Now they converted a 3rd down and 5 previously on this drive, but this will be a horse of a different color. 10-0 Harding early in the second. Bison scoring on a 25-yard field goal and a fumble return. Reddies are 1 for 3 on 3rd down. Twin receivers left, one to the right. There's a tight end and a fullback to protect Richard Stemeti. And Stemeti has some time, calls out a new play. Play clock's down to 1. Better be quick. They're not going to get it off. They did call a timeout just in the nick of time. They did call a timeout just in the nick of time. All right, so it looks like we'll have to take a break with both these teams. Stay tuned, see if the Reddies can get that 1st down, trailing 10-0 early in the second. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
Close your eyes. Unless you're driving, then that's dangerous. But everyone else, close your eyes. Picture this. It's a Monday afternoon. You're standing at the counter at Domino's as they hand over a delicious, cheesy, melty, hot, large 3-topping pizza. You hand the smiling Domino's employee $7.99, plus tax of course, of your hard-earned cheddar. You feel invigorated and alive. Now, picture this. It's a Friday. You're standing at the counter at Domino's as they hand over a delicious, cheesy, melty, hot, large 3-topping pizza. You hand the same Domino's employee More cash than you did on Monday? But that doesn't make any sense. But then, a radio commercial comes from on high and says,
Domino's is now extending its $7.99 large 3-topping carryout deal to all day, every day.
You fist pump into the air, punching the roof of your car. You are alive again! But your fist hurts. But you're still thinking about Domino's. Carryout only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.
All right, the Reddies back on the field with 3rd down and 13. They're at their own 45-yard line, trying to get one of their only drives that had some positive yardage going. The snap backs to Mehdi, throws out of the pocket, and the pass incomplete. His arm was hit as he got rid of the football, couldn't get anything on it. TJ Winslow got a piece of his elbow, and Henderson will be forced to punt from their 45-yard line. So Harding will get the ball back up 10-0.
Not bad blocking by the offensive line there. The edges got pushed pretty far back. Smitty's just got to do a little bit better job of stepping up in the pocket so he has room in front of him to work with.
Angel Esperanza with his 3rd punt. And this one is an end-over-end kick. Takes a Henderson bounce inside the 20, now inside the 10, back over the 10-yard line. Took a quick Harding bounce for a moment. And it's down at the 12 by Zach Newbell. Good punt by Esperanza. And Harding will have a long field with 12:42 to play in the 2nd quarter. Bison's 10, Reddies nothing. We'll take a break. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
Don't be sidelined due to your injury. The orthopedic team at Texarkana Surgery Center with doctors Richard Hilborn, Trey Mitchell, Doug Thompson, and Tom Young are here to help you get back in the game. Texarkana Surgery Center, taking special care of our community for over 20 years.
Hi, I'm Maya. I am 9 years old and I have type 1 diabetes. Please join me on October 28th for the 2018 JDRF1 Walk. The walk will be held at Dickie Stevens Park in North Little Rock on October 28th. The event opens at 1 p.m. and the walk will begin at 2 p.m. Hope to see you there. To register, go to walkjdrf.org or call 501-217-0312.
Before my 17th birthday, I lost my sister and mom to cancer, and then I got it too. I had 30 weeks of chemotherapy and several surgeries to remove the tumor and repair my damaged bones. Thanks to my Children's Miracle Network Hospital, I'm cancer-free. I'm now studying to become a pediatric oncology nurse, and I started a dance marathon at my university to help my local children's hospital. Help kids live their dreams. Put your money where the miracles are. Give to your Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Bison's drive starts at the 13. On 1st down, give to Cole Chansey. Chansey up the middle, brought down to the 23-yard line, gain of 4 yards, bring up 2nd down and 6. 10-0 Bisons. The Ready defense is doing fine. They're doing well. The Ready offense right now has had some moments where they've looked a little bit lost. They've fumbled the ball. They've fumbled it 2 other times that haven't been recovered by Harding. A couple of false starts. Defense still keeping them in the ball game. Pitch right, running with the football but not getting a lot of room is Tristan Tucker, and Tucker makes it to the 22-yard line. That's a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and short for the Bisons.
Tucker fortunate to get 4 on that play. Looks like the Reddies had that one pretty well covered. 4 red jerseys over there when Payton made the pitch, but a nice cut and a 1-2 step by Tucker. Makes this a very manageable 3rd down for the Bisons.
Both the Bisons and the Reddies are 1 for 4 on 3rd down. Reddies have seen themselves on a lot of 3rd and long. 3rd and short is where Harding is usually very good. They'll come with a tight formation, put the slot back in motion from the right. They give to the fullback, but there's no room for Chansey. He is enveloped by the Ready defense. Quickly, Josh Puryear brings him down at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he actually lost a yard back to the 21.
Very impressive play there by Puryear. Thanks to the nose guard once again calling his name a few times. I think for the 3rd time now. Jefferson Collins was in the backfield as well. We'll see who gets credit for that tackle. But a really impressive stand there by the Reddies. They've spent a lot of time on the field tonight with Harding controlling a lot of this clock, but the Reddies have not really bent so much, and Harding will punt once more.
Back to receive is Darian Gray at his own 39. And Cameron Scott sends him a wobbly punt, returnable. Gray from the 38, making a move up the left sideline, just jumps over that 40, and he'll be knocked out of bounds by the punt coverage for the Bisons. Call it about a 3-yard return, not a lot of room there. Gray making the most out of nothing, really. So Henderson will get decent field position. This is their best field position of the game as they trail 10-0. That'll be the Reddies' 5th drive, and so far there has not been a lot there. A total of 13 yards of offense for Scott Maxfield's Henderson State Reddies. You know, part of this could be that there's just not a lot of cohesiveness yet to this team. When you have 4 new starters on offensive line, those guys have to act as one together, and it's obviously not happening yet.
It's not, and there is something to be said about cohesiveness and working as a group. And like you said, 4 newcomers on the offensive line, but at the same time, any football player, any football coach will tell you it's no excuse for a few false starts and a few bad snaps, and the Reddies have gotten unlucky with some slips today, but I think the offensive line will definitely go into halftime if they don't pick it up right now, saying that was a poor performance from them. But honestly, the Reddies have when they've avoided shooting themselves in the foot, they've moved the ball with a little bit of consistency in the West Coast spread offense. So we'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Logan Moraney is the running back. Fullback Matt Tyler brought out from the left side. And Moraney gets the carry, 1st down and 10, tries to break through up the middle, and he breaks it over the 1st down marker for a gain of 11 yards. Sam Blankenship was dragged by Moraney for a few yards before knocking him down. 11-yard gain. Could see that burst that Moraney was known for at Little Rock Central.
Absolutely. He took Blankenship with him for about a 5 or 6 yard ride. He had a handful of Moraney's jersey, but a guy like Logan Moraney, you got to get more than a jersey to bring him down.
They gained 11 on that play. They gained a total of 13 in the game before. Now Moraney still in the backfield with a low snap to Richard Stemeti. His pass knocked down immediately by a linebacker for Harding. That's Willie Nash out of Memphis, Tennessee. 6'2", and I'd say that pass was about 5'8".
That pass was intended there for Ethan Lazarek, a transfer from the College of the Canyons and a Santa Clarita, California native. Ethan was very impressive in fall practice, and no doubt they're going to look to get the ball in his hands.
Twins to the right side, fullback in motion, loading up that right side again. A snap to Richard Stemeti. It was a direct snap. Logan Moraney, 1st down to his left. He's over the 35 and brought down to the 33-yard line. Direct snap to Logan Moraney.
And that direct snap is something you might see near the goal line in the Reddies heavy package, but at the close to the 50, the Reddies use it, and one cutback gets the Reddies almost 15 yards.
11-yard gain, tempo for the Reddies. Moraney again, hole on the right side, zigzags his way to the 26.
The Reddies are basically running one play, and it's Moraney up the gut, and they're having no problem. That's 9 yards on 1st down. They're just going back to the well and riding Logan Moraney right now.
Well, there's been holes on both sides of the offensive line here, and now starting to see a little more of that cohesiveness. 2nd down and 2. Moraney's on the right side of Richard Stemeti. He'll take the next snap in the shotgun. Twin receivers either side. Reddies down 10-0, just inside 9 minutes in the second. The snap, Stemeti's back to throw. Shuffles his shoulders, flips it over the middle. It's caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Reddies! Chase Lodry, the sophomore out of Dallas, 26-yard strike, great throw. Lodry's a tall one. He's got long arms too. Brought it down easily. First career touchdown at Henderson for Lodry, and the Reddies are on the board.
What a great pass by Richard Stemeti. If Chase Lodry hadn't caught that with his hands, he might have caught it with his face mask, because that was right on the money. That's Chase's first touchdown of his Reddies career, and what a time to get it. The Reddies have been struggling for most of this first half, but they're right back in this game, 10-7 after the extra point, and Reddies pumped up on the sideline, and the crowd's into it as well.
Timo Martinez adds the extra point, and Henderson makes it within 3. Now that was more impressive than any of the drives that Harding has put together. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, Harding, they're still up 10-7, but really haven't put I think they've only the most first downs they've gotten in a single drive is 3, and the Reddies made quick work of the Bison's vaunted defense right there. Some nice running by Logan Mulraney, and when you can run the ball for 9 yards a pop and then get yourself a 2nd and 1, you can go to the air, you can go deep, and because if you throw an incomplete pass or you have to throw the ball away, you go back to the well, go back with Mulraney. But Stameti wasted no time. Good strike to Lodry, and the Reddies get their first touchdown of the 2018 season.
5 plays, 57 yards, and a minute 38. It was Chase Lodry from Richard Stameti, 26 yards. That's the Southwest Auto scoring drive, offering the best American-made vehicles: Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. The only dealer that will give you tires for life with every new car you purchase. The Southwest Auto Collection here in Arkadelphia. Go to iDriveSWA.com. Harding's going to return the kickoff from the corner of the end zone. The Reddies bottle him up inside the 10, and down he goes. And there just was not a smart play at all. Zacharias Nash Kelly brought Viante Williams. They could see Williams when he brought it out of the short corner of the end zone. He wasn't sure if he wanted to. In fact, his teammate said, "Sit down." He brought it out, and he didn't look sure of himself, and he gets nearly nothing. Got a 10-yard return.
Well, the Reddies turf paint kind of playing a little bit of a factor. There's about 6 inches between the goal line and the Reddies' white paint. Maybe he thought he was out of the end zone, but either way, Reddies catch a break, and Harding will start from about the 10-yard line.
All right, so things have changed dramatically in the last few minutes of action. 8:43 to play in the half. And before the snap, there was some movement by the Harding line, it looked like. I didn't see a flag come out, but they did stop the play.
It's going to be a timeout by Harding.
All right, timeout by Harding. We will keep it here.
Yeah, it was funny when the Reddies used that fair catch rule and kind of turned everybody's heads. Look, everyone was looking around earlier, saying, what is that? They got the ball advanced to the 25-yard line. That's something that the Harding, the Harding Bison's returner could have used right there. Stuck right on the goal line, and returning it from out of the corner is always tough because the special teams players are allowed to leave their lanes more so and kind of bear down on the returner rather than covering the whole field. And I think he was confused, as you said, didn't know whether to take a knee, was probably had the fair catch in the back of his mind, ended up making the worst of the decisions of those 3 decisions and took it out. And the Reddies special teams unit was all over it. And that special teams unit is full of athletes, a lot of backup wide receivers on that unit so they can fly down the field.
So Harding uses their first timeout. 8:41 on the clock, second quarter. Bison's 10, Reddies nothing. This is from the Harding 10. They're going left to right. And they're going to give the ball to the fullback. Popped. No room at all. Cameron Saunier with the biggest hit of this young season. Didn't look like Cole Chansey had anywhere to run. Nowhere. He lost a yard. That was Romar Reeds on the carry, pardon me. And it looked like Reeds was hit just before he got the football in his hands.
Yeah, that's the second time the Reddies have almost blown up the exchange from the quarterback and the fullback. One of those interior linemen is not blocked. That's the design of the option offense. But when you have an especially quick defensive lineman, it can cause major problems for an offense like Harding.
Reeds gets they fake to Reeds, pitch to the slot back with room to run over the 20, first down past the 30 and dragged down from behind. And that was that sleight of hand. Tristan Tucker on the carry. It's about let's call that about a 22-yard gain.
That was the first. I believe that was the first pull and pitch of the night for Harding. And you can see how lethal this offense can get in the blink of an eye. It's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and all of a sudden, a guy's breaking into the defensive backfield. So the Reddies need to stay on their keys moving forward.
Ball's at the Harding 32. They put the slot back in motion, up the middle again. Reed staying on his feet, hit a number of times and hit after the whistle now, but he finally goes down. Malik Brown on the stop and give him forward progress for a gain of about a yard. Call it second down and 9. Ball's at the Harding 33. On the clock in motion to 7:10 to play in the first half. Harding up 10-7.
It may seem simple, but a 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. When you think about it, that's a win for the Reddies defense right there. You keep them at 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 6. It's much better than a 2nd and 6 and 3rd and 2. So the Reddies good start.
Taylor Bissell's put in motion. They'll pitch to the right side past the 35. There's room to run into Henderson territory over the 50-yard line. Again, it is Tristan Tucker with his second big play of the drive. Out of bounds into the Henderson sideline, a yard over the 50. Another big gain of there, 16 yards. And Tristan Tucker's been picking up a couple of big chunks on this drive.
A simple, again, just a pull and pitch from Peyton there, and the triple P, if you will. And Tristan untouched until he was pushed out of bounds. So Reddies need to play a little bit more sideline to sideline. Watch that pitch.
Tucker takes a seat this time. Now the pitch to the other slot back. That's Bissell running left, making men miss. Down the left sideline, first down and more. Past the 35, over the 30, and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Another big chunk of yardage. That one went for 19 yards.
And that was the Reddies flexed out on the left side of the field there after the fake to the fullback. Reddies secondary players were pulled in, and a simple flick of the wrist, and the Harding was off to the races there. Henderson State pinned the Bison's back, but it's been a nice drive of the Bisons. Just one more first down gets them into the red zone.
3 yards of 17 yards or more on this drive. And they go up the middle here. That's Cole Chansey behind a lineman over the 20-yard line for a first down. Brought down at the 18, a gain of 12. So that's the fourth time on the drive that Harding has had a run for 10 yards or more. They'd say that, they're good. They're happy with a 3-yard cloud of dust, a 4-yard cloud of dust every once in a while, because they figure they keep coming at an opponent over and over again, that there's going to be room for these slot backs and fullbacks to run, and that's come true on this drive.
Yeah, the option offense, I mean, there's kind of an inevitability to it. You just got to stick with the course, and a lot of times they hurt you.
Payton under center, fakes to the fullback, pitch to the slot back, and no room for Tucker this time. Ricardo Anderson swallowed him up. They got him in the backfield, lost about 4 yards. They had gotten to Tucker in the first quarter behind the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you got to go with your gut instinct on who's going to get the football. They didn't buy the fake handoff to Chansey, the fullback, and they swarmed over to Tucker before he could make a move. It's second down and 14. The Bisons are at the Henderson 22. Clock moving inside 4:30 in the half, and Henderson trails 10-7. They're going to fake a handoff, pass it, thrown over the middle, and the pass is caught in the end zone by Taylor Thompson. Touchdown, Harding. That's a great throw by Preston Payton, and just the second time he's thrown the football today. A 22-yard touchdown throw, and the Bisons are a point after, away from up by 10 points.
Reddies dropped back into a cover 3 there, but the corners, having to respect the pitch, couldn't bail out and cover the pass fast enough. Just a simple corner route on either side of the field, and Harding gets a pretty wide open touchdown catch on that play.
Cameron Scott, the kicker, looking to add the point after. Snap back to Blickenstaff. The kick is up, and that kick is good. So a pretty methodical drive there by Harding. They're not a team that throws, but when they throw, they can be very, very dangerous, especially after running, about 8 or 9 times on that drive. And then a wide open throw for the touchdown. Good throw by Payton, a good catch by Thompson. 17-7, Reddies trailing. They'll still get the ball back here, 4:17 to play in the half. And after the previous drive that Henderson put together, you feel like perhaps they could keep up offensively with this Harding team.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's one of those things where Harding they're the 7th-ranked team in the country for a reason. The offense isn't going to stall all day, and the defense knew that they were going to take some punches, but it's all about punching back. And this game's still in the first half; it's early, but the defense will go back to the drawing board there. Be wary of the pitch play and obviously the pass on play action, and but as we said, Harding pretty methodical, almost and about a 90-yard drive in that case.
And approaching the football for the Visit Hot Springs kickoff is Cameron Scott. High end over end kick. It's returnable from inside the 10-yard line. Up the middle past the 20. Trying to juke his way to the 25. Won't get there. It was Zach Newbell on the return. Call it a return of about 10 yards or so. A couple of ticks went off the clock. And it is 1st and 10, Reddies at their own 23.
Looks like Logan Morini's going to get his first breather of the night as Cobra Jones breaks out of the sideline huddle and will.
Jones had some moments last year.
He did, no doubt.
He's got a little burst in him. Cobra at 6'2", 205 pounds out of LaPorte, Texas. John Murray also enters the game, lining up on the far side right as a wide receiver next to Ben Johnson. And they'll go to Cobra Jones. Room to run over the right side, over the 30-yard line, dragged down from behind. It'll be a gain of 7 on Jones's first carry this year.
Nothing different than the Reddies were doing before, just a simple shotgun spread look and a zone read over Daniel Moore and Ugo Amadi. Cobra gets 5 yards before getting hit and ends up with 7, so Reddies in a good spot, 2nd and 3.
There's Lodry entering the game. Lines up wide of the formation on the right side. They'll also put Zach Newbell in the slot right. Empty formation for Richard Stemeti. Back to throw over the middle. He lasers it, and it's in and out of the open arms of Ben Johnson, who would have had the first down if he could have brought it in. The pass was low and thrown awfully hard.
That's one of those routes where, with the coverage backing up, Stemeti might have gotten over anxious just waiting for Johnson to break out of his cut there. Gave the defender a little bit of a double shimmy, but with room to work and with the defender about 3 or 4 yards off, I think Stemeti got a little bit over anxious and threw it a little too quickly.
3rd down and 3. He's looking to convert this 3rd down. 3:34 to play in the first half. Stemeti back to pass. The pocket closes. He loses the ball. It is loose at the 20-yard line. Who's got it? Looks like Harding has recovered the second fumble for Henderson today. Michael Munga, junior nose guard out of San Mateo, got to Richard Stemeti as he wound up his arm. Didn't have the arm coming forward. It was still going back. That is a fumble, and the Bisons have control of the football with a very short field at the Henderson 20.
Second fumble loss by the Reddies inside their own 25-yard line. With this Harding offense starting to get some momentum, not the gift the Reddies wanted to present to the Bisons in that situation. Defense will have to stand tall here.
I mean, he just had a chance to make a statement and get back into the game. Payton hands the ball off. Romar Reeds. There's a hole on the left side. Bursts through it for a gain of 9 yards. Just short of the first down. Made it to the 11-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as the Bisons are looking to get up by perhaps
3 possessions. It would be
up by 2 possessions right here. 17-7. Clock closing in on 3 minutes in the first half. Payton's there under center. Reeds is the fullback. Bissell put in motion. Handoff to Reeds. First down. Dives over the 10. He picked up an extra yard or so after that to the 7-yard line. A gain of 5 yards, and it's 1st down and goal for Harding.
Yeah, just simple 2 fullback dives there, but the Reddies defense got to be a little bit winded right now after giving up a 90-yard drive. They have to go right back on the field, and with a guy like Roma running down your throat, it's tough to defend.
Reeds will stay in at fullback. Taylor Bissell's the slot back to the right, and Tristan Tucker slot back to the left. Harding's now run for 127 yards in this first half, most of them on the last couple of the drives. Handoff Payton. Up the middle is Reeds. Reeds is stopped near the 4. That's all he'll get. Mark him down to the 5-yard line, gain of 2.
And speaking of a tired defense, as you might expect playing a team that runs the triple option, Harding has had the advantage, but they've now doubled up the Reddies in time of possession, going on 19 minutes now for the Bisons, about 9 minutes and 29 seconds for Henderson State. So that defense is in desperate need of a break.
Now Harding last year, 2nd in the country in time of possession. They held the ball for nearly 35.5 minutes. Reeds gets the carry. He's hit at the 2, almost made it back into the end zone, but he was stopped just short. We'll mark him down to the 1-yard line, gain of 4.
Yeah, the Harding offensive line had their hands up in a touchdown formation, but it's going to be 3rd down here with less than a yard to go.
Watch out for the QB keeper. Payton takes the snap, lowers his head, tries to get into the end zone over center. No signal. Touchdown Harding. They just signaled it. And the Bisons will be up by a 23-7 score. So the field position game is just killing Henderson. The 2 turnovers obviously are hurting them very badly. The first fumble returned immediately for a touchdown. The second fumble turned into a touchdown a handful of plays later. The Reddies have had one successful drive, one that does give you a semblance that the team would be able to keep pace, but they can't turn the ball over like this.
Right. And when you think about it, Harding, it's kind of hard to imagine them with 23 and possibly 24 points now after an extra point oncoming. But Henderson, with their one impressive drives, has had just as many impressive drives as Harding. Really, one team has gone the length of the field one time, but as you said, those mistakes, those kind of shooting yourself in the foot moments have crushed the Reddy spirit tonight, and that's the reason the Reddies trail by now 3 possessions.
Cameron Scott point after is good, and that makes it a 24-7 score. We'll send Cyrus down to the field. He's going to interview Scott Maxfield to play during the halftime show. And Henderson about 1 minute and 10 seconds trying to do something with this drive. The Reddies do get the football to begin the second half.
Legal.
Before this kickoff, though, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Henderson State Sports Network. Well, the Reddies about to get the ball back. Kickoff brought to you by Visit Hot Springs. Plan your vacation visit to Hot Springs. Call 800-SPA-CITY or go to hotsprings.org. And the kickoff is dropped at the 1-yard line by Zach Newble. Has to pick it up, run with the football. Did he lose it again? Inside the 10. Harding jumping around saying they've got it, and another Reddy turnover. The third fumble inside the 20 by Henderson today. And now the officials are talking it over. And I wonder if they're going to change their mind. Harding's offense has come onto the field. The Reddy defense has gone out there too. The head official coming over to Scott Maxfield, who right now is just fit to be tied. And they're going to signal that it...
By rule, once the receiver gets the fair catch signal, he is not allowed to advance the ball. Therefore, it's Henderson State's ball, 1st and 10 at the 2-yard line.
Oh boy, so it's a lucky break for the Reddies because Newbo called for a fair catch. Once he touches the football, the play would be dead, theoretically, though. Or once he catches it cleanly. He did catch it cleanly, then tried to make a move. But once he signals for the fair catch, he cannot advance it. So that's a break for the Reddies, but now they're looking at 1st down and 10 from their 2-yard line with 69 seconds on the clock. They do have a couple of timeouts. Wow, the case, not necessarily the dropsies for the Reddies in this one today, but the fumblies. 3 times in the first half. Richard Stemeti in the pistol about to take the snap in his own end zone. Twin receivers to his right. He gives the ball to Logan Mulraney. Mulraney twisting over the 5-yard line with 2 hands on the ball, and he's dropped at the 7. It'll be a gain of 5 yards.
Second charge, timeout, Harding.
Harding wants the ball back. Used one of their 2 times out, leaving 60 seconds on the clock. Harding up 24-7. Be sure to stay tuned for the SCM Architects halftime show. Coming up after this second quarter, Scott Maxfield will have, it'll be interesting to hear what Scott's got to say after the first half performance by Henderson. The defense, for the most part, has done a very good job, though they've been outgained 164 yards to 67. I'd say Harding's really only had one real successful drive, but they've taken advantage of 2 Henderson turnovers, scoring 14 points off of Henderson turnovers. We'll also look around the Great American Conference on a busy day in the GAC where everybody is playing. And Cyrus and I will set up the second half. So Harding used that timeout. They want the ball back. Henderson with a 2nd down and 4 from the 8-yard line. Sending Logan Mulroney into the backfield with Richard Stemeti. Twins to the right side. Single receiver is open on the left. And they're going to go on the ground again. There's Mulroney stretching it out right side for a 1st down outside the numbers, and he makes it out of bounds close to the 20. In fact, that's where they're going to mark him out of the 20. A gain of 12 for Logan Mulroney. Reddies' 6th 1st down of the ball game. And Mulroney now over 50 yards here in the first half. 1st and 10, balls to the Henderson 20. Clock in motion inside 40 seconds. Harding bringing a couple of extra linemen up. Looks like Henderson wants to get this half over. They're going to use a lot of the play clock. Trips to the left side. The snap back to Richard Stemeti. Hands it off. Mulroney over the 25. Making a man miss. Down to the 27. And that ought to do it here in the first half. All the Reddies wanted to do there was just not turn it over again. It does not look like Harding will be calling another timeout. So that'll end the first half of play here in opening day 2018. And the Harding Bisons will take a 24-7 lead into the locker room. And again, we'll have the SCM Architects halftime show coming up. We'll have all the stats, scores from around the Great American Conference, and if the recorder works properly, we'll be visiting with Scott Maxfield. Stick around after the break, the SCM Architects halftime show. The score, Harding 24, Henderson 7. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
We've been hearing a lot of concerns about Domino's new bread twists. Apparently, you've been ordering them as a decoy to keep others away from your precious pizza. But watching the bread twists go so fast because everyone else wanted them made you want them too. While we feel you, we'd like to acknowledge that this is probably the best tasting problem you've ever had. There are worse things than choosing between either pizza or warm dunkable bread twists and flavors like Parmesan, garlic, and cinnamon. Like deciding whether to wait for a parking spot or just walk further. Choosing between telling dad jokes or wearing mom jeans, or picking your favorite child. So when it comes to giving you more choices between ridiculously delicious menu options, all we can say is, we're sorry. You're welcome.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's new bread twist or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each. 2-item minimum handmade pan pizzas may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Better Start Foundation, a youth-driven, innovative organization, is committed to helping our youth succeed in finding and pursuing their passions to build a stronger, wealthier community. They connect the youth of Central Arkansas to everything they need in order to excel in school, career, and life. A nonprofit company, Better Start Foundation seeks to partner with other organizations and individuals to provide resources to help the youth overcome everything from academic challenges to financial hardships. For more info, email raymond.long@betterstartfoundation.org.
Hey, parents of children with asthma, here's another hit from the Breathe Easies.
Come on and clean up the mold. Clean up the mold. Mold can trigger asthma in kids young and old. Come on and clean up the mold. Clean up the mold in your house.
This song may be fun, but childhood asthma is not. Preventing asthma attacks can be as simple as cleaning up the mold and mildew in your house. For more Breathe Easy tips to help stop asthma attacks, go to noattacks.org. Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Everything girls do at Girl Scouts, attend troop meetings, sell cookies, camp in the great outdoors, engage in science, technology, engineering, and math, and beyond is 100% girl-led and girl-focused. Girl Scouting happens in a safe space where she can be herself, make new friends, and learn new skills to help her grow and succeed. Is your girl ready to take the leap? Learn more by visiting our website at girlscoutswithans.org.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The Razorbacks travel to South Carolina.
Back inside here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. Tough first half for the Reddies as they're trailing 24-7 against the Harding Bisons. We'll be joined by Scott Maxfield during the next segment here on the SCM Architects halftime show. Cyrus Wittig has just joined us back up here in the booth. Well, that was almost a disastrous end of the first half. It was a disastrous first half, really, when you look at it. Too many turnovers, too many penalties, and and then you almost turn the ball over inside the 10-yard line on a kickoff. The luck, really, more than anything, is why they were able to keep the football. But that was a tough first half for Henderson. And really, I mean, you had if you believe in omens, when before their first offensive snap of the year, they're called for a false start and went negative 15 yards on the first drive. That's a tough way to start. One successful drive for Henderson. Two that ended in turnovers, nearly a handful of punts. Defensively, I think they've played pretty well, but right now, I mean, they're right where Harding wants them, because now Harding doesn't have to throw past the rest of the game if they don't want to, and the clock is on Harding's side. That's where time of possession doesn't always figure into a ball game, including tough, tight ball games with Harding. Time of possession doesn't necessarily matter so much. In the games like this is where they're going to make this a very short ball game if they can.
I think time of possession is one of those stats that can be a little bit misleading sometimes, especially in modern day football, when you have your average touchdown drive is around 2 minutes with teams slinging the ball all around the field. But when it comes to time of possession, it's really you need to look in the second half of time of possession, because that's what really tells the whole story. And Harding, like you said, they're going to be looking to play keep away in the second half. With the 17-point lead, they're going to be in no hurry at all. Going to keep it on the ground, feed Reeds, feed Chancey, feed their slot backs, and Tristan Tucker's had an excellent first half, getting out on the edge, and as we'll hear from Coach Max, I think he's going to want to say, he's going to want to tell the offense that, hey, the defense is doing really all they can. It's up to you guys to get us back in this game. But the Reddies offense has done themselves no favors, and have done the Reddies team as a whole no favors, really.
Well, let's get a look at the box score here and see how it all goes down. We'll get the team stats first, then get some of the individual stats. 24-7, Harding leads where it counts. They have 9 first downs to the Reddies 6. Total yards, Harding 164 yards, Henderson 92. 134 yards on the ground for the Bisons on 29 carries. The Reddies rushed 15 times for 45 yards. 47 passing yards for Henderson, 30 for the Bisons. Of course, the fumbles, the 2 fumbles by the Reddies, 1 returned for a touchdown, the other dove on top of. So the Reddies have actually fumbled the ball 4 times. They've lost half of them. The Reddies have committed 3 penalties. No penalties committed by Harding. On third down conversions, the Reddies are 1 of 5. Harding is 2 of 6. Neither team's attempted a fourth down conversion. And Harding's had the ball for 19 minutes and 21 seconds, while the Reddies have held the ball for 10 minutes and 39 seconds. The individual stats, Logan Moraney has gained 68 of the Reddies' 92 total yards. That's on 10 carries, averaging 6.8 yards a carry. His longest is 12. Cooper Jones ran once for 7 yards. Harding has had 4 players run the football at least once. Tristan Tucker 5 times for a net gain of 49 yards. Cole Chancey's run 9 times for a net gain of 33. Fullback Romar Reed 7 carries, net gain of 26. Taylor Bissell with 1 carry for 19 yards. Preston Payton has thrown twice. The Harding quarterback has completed both passes for 30 yards, including a 22-yard touchdown throw. Richard Stometi is 6 of 11 throwing in his first start with the Henderson for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. He's been sacked twice and has thrown for a long of 26 yards. Ben Johnson, 3 catches but just 4 yards plus 1 fumble. Chase Lodry with a 26-yard touchdown catch, his only catch. Darian Gray caught 1 ball for 10. Moraney caught 1 ball for 7. 2 catches by Harding. Taylor Thompson 1 for a 22-yard touchdown. Bobby Green 1 catch for 8 yards. Each team has punted 3 times. The Reddies' Esperanza has punted for an average of 32.7 yards. Scott for Harding an average of 47.7. And those are all of the offensive numbers. The scoring recap, Harding scored the first 10 points. They completed a 5-play, 17-yard drive in 2 minutes and 37 seconds, scoring on a 25-yard Cameron Scott field goal, the 4:39 mark in the first quarter. Quickly later, it was just 14 seconds of game clock later on a fumble by Ben Johnson. Frank Herbert returned it 11 yards for a touchdown that made it 10-0 Harding. Chase Lodry got the Reddies on the scoreboard. This was an impressive drive. Midway through the second quarter, they went 5 plays, 57 yards, and a $138. Lodry, 26-yard catch from Stemeti, made it 10-7. But then Harding scores the next 2 touchdowns with Taylor Thompson completing a 90-yard drive, 8 plays, 7 of them were running plays, 4 minutes, 26 seconds. Thompson, 22-yard touchdown catch from Preston Payton, made it 17-7. And then Payton, after the fumble by Stemeti on a sack, completed a 20-yard 5-play drive that took 2 minutes, 16 seconds off the clock. And Payton, on a quarterback dive from 1 yard out, made it 24-7. So, and again, defensively, you feel like Henderson has done well. 134 yards in the first half for an opponent doesn't sound like it's very good, but Harding has already run 29 times. So that's what they do. And really, except for the one drive, where out of the 8 plays, they had 7 rushes. I'd say 4 of them were 12 yards or more. Henderson has done, I think, pretty well against the run.
I think this Henderson defense has done really all you can ask for, or against a team with of the quality of Harding. In the first game of the year, everything's not sloppy, but you're getting used to new formations, new players, new calls, especially when you're switching up the defense, going from a 4-2-5 back to a 3-4. I think the linebackers, the Reddies linebacking core has been really impressive. Cam Sagnier's gotten in there for a few nice tackles. Khalil Mitchell stuffed Harding on a 3rd down. Josh Puryear, the sophomore, as we've called his name a few times, and Colby Turner, and even Daniel Story, 2 redshirt sophomores from the Midwest. They've gotten some run in there as well. But it was just that one Harding drive that spanned the length of the field. And the thing is, when the Reddies got the ball back after that drive, they had just gone 60 yards in about 8 plays and looked like, okay, we got the offense off the ground. We're looking to roll now, and they give the ball up, and the Harding Bisons go score again. So this game is by no means over. We got another 30 minutes to play, but the Reddies have leaned on the run in the first half, but they're going to need to air it out in the second half, because realistically, Henderson might only get 3 or 4, maybe 5 chances to even touch the ball in the second half. So they've got to make every single opportunity count.
More on the SCM Architects halftime show after the break. It's the Bisons of Harding 24, the Henderson State Reddies 7, and this is the Henderson State Sports Network.
The boys are in
I don't know where the interview is.
Lots of talk going on in the huddle there, Roy.
Well, it looks like they decided on a play.
Wait, what's this? Are they setting up for the Hot Springs?
The Hot Springs? We haven't seen this formation since 1918.
Yeah, that's the same year that Babe Ruth hit the mammoth home run during Hot Springs spring training. They're headed to the line. And there's the snap.
To learn more about the rich sports history in Hot Springs National Park, visit hotsprings.org.
Henderson State Ready Apparel and Souvenirs. Stop by the Ready Bookstore, located on the HSU campus in the Garrison Center. Open before every game. You can also purchase apparel and gift items under the Ready Bookstore.
How many breaks do we have in this?
The Ready Bookstore is open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 8 to 4 on Friday. Find us on Facebook, Twitter.
I'll look. Let me look ahead.
Online at www.readybookstore.com. Ready Bookstore, proud supporters of Henderson State Athletics.
The Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia is a proud sponsor of Henderson State Athletics. We offer the best American-made vehicles.
Well, he's got it built with 3 more, but if you don't need that many, it's okay.
The dealer will give you tires for life with every new car you purchase. Come see the Southwest Auto Collection at 10th Street in Arkadelphia, or go online at idriveswa.com. The Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia.
The state's leader in care is right here in the comfort of your own community. Baptist Health Medical Center Arkadelphia. Here, state-of-the-art technology is united with highly qualified physicians and the most quality nursing staff in the region. From major surgery to minor injuries, we care for you because we're your neighbor. And we're backed by Baptist Health, Arkansas's most comprehensive and respected care network. Baptist Health Medical Center, Arkadelphia, your community hospital.
Back inside Carpenter Haygood Stadium on the SCM Architects halftime show. SCM Architects has served Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. They provided Henderson with a new dining hall, recreation center, and dormitories, all within the last 5 years. Learn more by going to scmarchitects.com. Updates around the GAC. Our out-of-town scores brought to you by Southwest Sporting Goods. At Southwest Sporting Goods, proud to offer a wide selection of sporting goods fitting your needs. Call today at 888-246-2311 or visit them at 115 South 6th Street right here in Arkadelphia. Here's your GAC scores. And, all right, like expected, we're not going to get an update on Ouachita Baptist in northwestern Oklahoma State. That's up way up there in Alva, near the Panhandle in Oklahoma. And they don't get your scores from up there, so we don't have an update. Southeastern Oklahoma State blowing out Southern Nazarene. They're midway through the fourth quarter. It's 35-0, and the Savage Storm with a big lead in that ball game. Quick look at the team stats showing that. Let's see here. Total yards: 201 yards for Southern Nazarene, 351 yards for Southeastern. Another blowout. This one is in Magnolia, 38-0. Southern Arkansas blowing out Arkansas Tech. The Reddies will get Tech next week in Russellville, and it is a rough one for the Wonder Boys, who have gained just 140 yards. The Mule Riders have gained 458 yards. 38-0 early in the fourth as Southern Arkansas is blowing out Arkansas Tech. Here's a good one. UAM and Southwestern Oklahoma State playing today in Weatherford, Oklahoma. Bulldogs 35, Bull Weevils 28. So tight one there. And they're 9:08 to play in the third with a 7-point Southwestern Oklahoma State lead. Another tight one late in the second quarter in Ada, Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma Baptist 17 and East Central 13. Those are all the scores we can get you because they do not have an update on the football game with Ouachita Baptist and Northwestern Oklahoma State. All right, we're trying to get our interview with Scott Maxfield. Our thing's not working, so we're going to try to figure it out. If we get it working, we'll be able to play that after the break. If not, we'll just chat it up and try to figure out a couple of ways that the Reddies can get back in this ball game. It's 24-7 Harding, and we're at halftime here on the Henderson State Sports Network.
All right, guys, we really need a miracle right now.
You're telling me those guys are monsters?
I've tried every play in the book, guys.
Not every play.
You mean the Hot Springs?
You want to win, right?
We haven't run that play since Jackie Robinson played Hot Springs spring training ball.
Go for it.
All right, it's the Hot Springs on 3. To learn more about the rich sports history in Hot Springs National Park, visit hotsprings.org.
Do you have an idea that you'd like to see on a t-shirt? Print Mania can help you turn your idea into a reality. Print Mania offers a variety of t-shirts for you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Print Mania also does embroidery and engraving. Come visit us at 624 Main Street in Arkadelphia or call 870-246-3803. Print Mania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
With over 40 years of experience, All Care Pharmacy understands your pharmaceutical needs. We offer fast and friendly service, including a drive-through window for additional convenience, along with 14 retail locations to serve you throughout Arkansas. Transfers are as easy as 1, 2, 3, so stop by and see Brian and staff at 3002 West Pine Street in Arkadelphia. Remember, at All Care, we care.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You messed up your daughter's haircut.
Hit the record once, hit it twice.
Mom,
You didn't do
where's the
anything.
mirror?
Beauty is within. Oh.
B, find the positives.
Less time blow drying, more time texting?
Or C, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have to.
Twinsies!
I kinda love
Should I
it.
just
You
record
don't
it
have
on
to
my
be
phone
perfect.
next time?
Be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, well, our recorder's not working properly, but hey, you know, when you got the guy who actually stood there and talked with Coach Maxfield, if he's able to remember some of the things that he talked about with him, I can imagine the sound in Max's voice, probably not, very happy, down 24-7. But what did he tell you at the end of the first half?
My memory's not what it once was, but I think I can.
It's still pretty good.
I think I can recall. As we both know, and I think everybody sitting here, on Henderson State's campus right now knows, there's not a whole lot of mystery to the first half of play. He applauded the defense's performance and reiterated a point we touched on, was that the fact that the defense has really only given up one solid Harding drive. And when you think about for an entire half of play for the 7th ranked team in the country, holding them to one good drive out of 5 or 6 is a pretty good ratio. But it's really it starts and ends with the offense. The mistakes at the beginning of the game, the false starts, and obviously more impactfully and more importantly maybe the turnovers. Ben Johnson, the fumble, and Coach Maxfield also was calling for better offensive line play. Harding's got a great defensive line between their two rush ends in T.J. Winslow and Devin Comer, but for a guy who's been around the block, like you said, like Scott Maxfield, you got to play up to your competition. You got an All-American or All-Conference player staring across the line from you. You got to raise your play to an All-Conference or All-American level. He also touched on the fact that he likes the way that Mulroney has been running the ball, as we touched on and went over in the box score. He's got 10 carries for 68 yards, so averaging just under 7 yards a pop, but he knows what we know, and that's the fact that Harding is going to try to play keep way in the second half, and so Henderson's going to be forced to go to the air. And right back to his earlier point, is Henderson's going to be forced to pass protect, and so we got about 90 seconds until we find out if Henderson can do so.
All right, we'll keep it here because I think we're done with our breaks for the SEM Architects halftime show. Henderson gets the ball to begin the second half, so we can see if they can make any adjustments. And when we talk about adjustments, adjustments are holding on to the football right now. But you can see that the last couple of times that Stemeti has dropped back to pass, the defensive ends for Harding have pinched in on him and have been able to kind of meet at the quarterback, which is never a good thing. That's where that last fumble came from, and that's where Harding got such great field position for their third touchdown.
I think sometimes the quarterback. The quarterback is faulted for offensive line mistakes, and sometimes the offensive line is faulted for some quarterback mistakes. I thought Stemeti, had a pretty good sense of pocket presence in the first half, but I will say on that on the second fumble where he got hit, you got to know who your hot receiver is. Harding showed all out blitz, ran basically the engage 8 and brought their linebackers up. And when that happens, when you got 8 men basically in the box and 1 foot forward, ready to come at you, the ball's got to be out of there quick. And so hopefully Stemeti makes that adjustment in the second half, gets the ball out and keeps drives alive.
Well, the second half kickoff brought to you by Visit Hot Springs. You can plan your vacation. Visit the Hot Springs. Just call 800 Spa City or go online to hotsprings.org. Ready to send Chase Lodry and Darian Gray back to the 5-yard line to return that second half kickoff. Dark skies abounding here in Arkadelphia, and temperatures have dropped into a much more comfortable region. Game time temperature at the opening kick was 90, but it felt like 102. And it's currently 81 degrees, but it feels like 88.
Still feels about 95 in here, Phil. But
I'm not swimming in my shorts anymore. Thank goodness.
Well, hopefully this kickoff will. Well, I shouldn't say that. Hopefully this kickoff will be, positively eventful. But the Reddies kickoffs have, kick returns rather have not yielded great results in the first half. Hopefully Darian or Chase can turn that around as we get started in the second half.
Cameron Scott plays the ball at the 35-yard line. He'll be kicking it off left to right. Checks both sides, approaches the football, brings the right foot through. End over end kick, very high in the air. Backs Lodry to the 2. Slips after making the catch, brings it out. Past the 10, hit at the 12, twisting for the 15. That's a return of about 13 yards for Chase Lodry. The turf monster made him slip after the initial catch. And it is Ja'Cory Nichols on the tackle on special teams for Harding. First down and 10, the Reddies at their own 15.
There's an outside chance, and we're about to find out. No, it looks like Richie Stemeti's still going to be out there for the Reddies, at least to start the second half. Cody Whitaker's, kind of an and/or player, so could still see Whitaker in this game, but it'll be Stemeti for now.
Logan Mulraney's in the backfield along with Stemeti. A shotgun snap, 2-step drop, throws left. It's caught near the 19-yard line and trying to get out of bounds, but tackled short of the 25 is Chase Lodry. Deontay Williams on the tackle for Harding. Call it a gain of 8. Nice throw, nice catch. Second down and 2.
I like the way the Reddies kept it simple on that play. Simple curl route, 3-yard. It's a 3-yard pass pattern and some nice yak.
Mulraney again is in the backfield. Stemeti calling for the snap. Trips to his right side. He holds in the pocket, looking for Sumer to go. Spins away from his sack, and he'll run for the first down to his left into the Henderson sideline. A gain of 5 yards by Richard Stemeti. Sam Blankenship ran him out of bounds. Nifty little spin there by Stemeti to avoid the stack.
That's right. Coach Maxfield in our pregame interview shared with us that Stemeti is really the more pocket passer between him and Whitaker, but some quick feet there from Stemeti, and he turns a 3-yard loss into a 3-yard gain. The Reddies have a new set of downs.
He's been feeling that rush quite a bit. That's the first time he's been able to really evade it. Lines up triple receivers to his right and takes the snap back to throw. Little shoulder shuffle. He's going to throw it deep over the middle. He's got a man behind the defense, and it's caught at the 30-yard line and brought down near the 20-yard line is Zacharias Nash Kelly. Kelly had to slow up at the last moment to make the catch and let the ball catch up to him. Big gainer for Henderson inside the 20-yard line. That's a 49-yard pickup.
Nash Kelly is a player the coaching staff is really high on. He had a great fall camp, a transfer in from Kilgore Junior College, his first big play as a Henderson State Ready.
It's more pass yards than the Reddies had the entire first half.
The Reddies in business quickly, knocking on the door of the red zone and resetting the formation.
We'll go with the fullback on the right side. He lines up on the left now. The snap, Stemeti gives the ball to Logan Mulraney right into the line of scrimmage, and he gets to the 21-yard line. Couldn't move the stack too much, gain of 1 yard. There's Sam Blankenship on the tackle once again at linebacker for Harding. Blankenship, a second-team All-America linebacker last year. Second down and 9. Reddies trail 24-7, but we are early here in the second half. The line, a stack of receivers on the left side of Richard Stemeti. Low snap, takes it nicely. Steps up in the pocket to avoid the rush. He runs for it. First down inside the 10. He is tackled at the 5-yard line. They tackled him low, and a flag is thrown.
They're going to get a block in the back by Chase Lodry there inside the 5, and there's 3 flags on the field, so maybe there could be some different calls. I think Chase is innocent. He ran back but put his hands up. He did not give the defender a shove, but a good
block in the back.
A good
number 81
job
on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty.
Wow, so a 10-yard penalty will push Henderson. Now that's not a spot foul, or is it? It is a spot foul.
It is a spot foul. So the Reddies actually still gained about 5 or 6 yards on the play, but they're inside the 15 instead of being inside the 5.
So it'll be second down and 3 for Henderson. Harding still without a penalty. That is the Reddies' 4th.
Pretty impressive to have no penalties in your first game of the season.
Ben Johnson's put in motion left to right in front of Richard Stemeti. Calls for the shotgun snap, fakes the give to Mulraney. Flushed out to his left, flips it right through Johnson's hands. Johnson trying to set up a screen left. Watch it go right through his fingertips. Henderson looking at third down and 3 from the 15. Reddies 1 of 5 converting third downs. They trail 24-7. And they're going to be lined up quickly by Richard Stemetti, keeping Logan Mulraney as his running back. Part of that is not Mulraney. He's got Zach Newble in the backfield with him. Sends Newble to line up. Empty formation for Henderson. Here's the snap. They're blitzed. The pass batted down to the line of scrimmage, and it brings up 4th down. Stemetti trying to throw to the right side, looking for Newble coming out of the slot. That's the second time, though, Bison's defensive lineman's knocked down a pass.
Well, that's just a heads-up play by, couldn't quite see who got their fist on it, but just a heads-up play from an experienced defense. Reddies had the hot route on, and Stemetti got it off quickly, but the Bisons, knowing that they weren't going to be able to get to the quarterback, just got their hands up and knocked it harmlessly to the turf.
Timo Martinez tries a 31-yard strike from the right hash mark. The snap back, the hold down, the kick up, and the kick is good. Nice 31-yard field goal by Timo Martinez. And the Reddies do strike early here in the second half, but it's 24-10, Harding leading inside the 12-minute mark. We'll step aside for a break. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
With over 40 years of experience, All Care Pharmacy understands your pharmaceutical needs. We offer fast and friendly service, including a drive-through window for additional convenience, along with 14 retail locations to serve you throughout Arkansas. Transfers are as easy as 1, 2, 3. So stop by and see Brian and staff at 3002 West Pine Street in Arkadelphia. Remember, at All Care, we care.
Subway restaurants are known for our sandwich artists, but our customers are the real creative geniuses.
I like turkey breast, mustard, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and onions.
I'll take the Italian BMT. Make it deluxe with 50% more meat. And add provolone and bacon.
How about rotisserie-style chicken, Chipotle Southwest sauce, spinach, and green peppers?
With our freshly baked breads, your choice of proteins, and an array of crisp veggies, you can create your own masterpiece. What combo will you make today? Let your creative genius shine at Subway.
The Reddies complete a scoring drive, get within a 24-10 ball game. 8 plays, 70 yards. Took just about 3 minutes off the clock. Timo Martinez with a 32-yard field goal, his first at Henderson State University. Scoring drive brought to you by Southwest Auto Group. The Southwest Auto Collection featuring all-American-made vehicles: Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. They'll give you tires for life with every new car you purchase. Southwest Auto Collection at 10th Street in Arkadelphia. Go to idriveswa.com. Kickoff goes right to left. Returned by Harding from the 6-yard line past the 20. And knocked down short of the 25 is Tony Beckton. We do have a Reddy slow to get up. Looks like Mercado Anderson, who made the tackle, will stay on the field for an extra moment. Official calling a timeout, so Mercado can get checked on. We'll keep it here.
It could be, well, as every football fan knows, it's cramps season, with the humidity being up near 100% and temperatures on the field touching 90 degrees. Dehydration is usually the primary suspect when guys go down, and it looks like Mercado is walking off the field under his own power right now. It's a good sign for him and the Henderson State defense.
Yep, he's okay. So Harding will start their first drive, and they've had great field position all day. This feels like their worst field position of the night, from their own 25-yard line, moving left to right.
The Reddies, I believe, they pinned him back to the 10, but that turned into Harding's best drive, so be careful what you wish for if you're the Henderson State defense.
Quarterback Preston Payton taking the play call from the far sideline. Very tight formation, slot back either side. Pitch to the left, and running with the football is Taylor Bissell. Bissell trying to get outside the formation, but he's knocked down just over the line of scrimmage. Gain of 2.5 yards.
Reddies floated the ball much better there. Harding gashed them on the outside on multiple occasions in that second quarter, but good sideline to sideline coverage by the Reddies linebacker. Logan Edwards was in on that tackle.
Now Payton fakes the snap, and he's going to take a new call from the far side again. This is where they'll let that clock ground down.
That's right, single digits.
Leading by 2 touchdowns. Get the snap, pitched the ball. It's almost fumbled in the backfield by Tucker, but he popcorns the ball back into his hands, runs for a first down near the Reddies sideline, out of bounds of the 40 for a gain of 12 yards. You see that? I mean, on the pitch, it looked like he was about to fumble it, but he just popcorned the ball back to himself.
I did. I thought for a split second there the Reddies were about to get a break of their own, as the ball definitely left the hands of Tristan Tucker for a split second, but sophomore retained it, picked up a first down.
Payton again looking at the Ready defensive formation. Henderson shuffling things up as he gets a new play call. They've run for 149 yards. Payton takes the snap, fakes the give to the fullback, pitches left. That's Bissell, evades a man, runs over the 40 for the first, runs over the 40, and tried to get to the sideline, but couldn't quite do it. Be a gain of 2 yards. 2nd down and 8 for Harding.
Cam Saunier credited with that tackle. He'll be replaced now by Mercado Anderson. As we said, a lot of Reddies players getting action in the defensive, back seven, if you will, against this Harding offense. And temperatures like these, you've got to have players constantly rotating in and out to keep fresh and to keep 100%.
Saunier so quick to the football. Cole Chansey's the fullback. They pitch the ball to him. That is Tucker running outside the right side. And a flag thrown as he is tackled close to midfield. Was the white hat who threw the flag. He was knocked down as well. Remember, Harding's committed no penalties yet.
Personal foul. Illegal blocking below the waist against the offense, number 23. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay 2nd down.
23 is a defensive back for them. I wonder if he means 33.
I imagine he does. I guess 33 would be, 33 wasn't in on the play.
It wouldn't be Reed's out there. He wasn't out there.
I think it might have been the near side slot back, Bissell possibly, because I think Tucker had the ball in his hands. But either way, could be another passing opportunity for Harding here. 2nd and long, but the last time Harding threw the ball, it resulted in a touchdown. So the Reddies can't just assume they're going back to the ground. Got to be ready to defend the pass.
They'll put a receiver wide of the formation either side. Reddies playing bump coverage on the left side. They'll pitch left. Ball's loose in the backfield. It's still loose. Reddies kick it to the right. Loose near the 30-yard line. There's a scrum for it again. Boy, that ball moved about 15 yards after it was dropped by Harding.
Ricardo Anderson screaming it's Reddy's ball.
The Reddies say they have it. They're celebrating. No sign from the officials yet. Henderson football. First turnover forced by the Reddies. And that was on, just a couple of plays before. Tristan Tucker had to popcorn the football to himself. This looked like the same thing, a pitch that got a little bit loose.
Well, that was actually a counter play, an option counter. One of the, I believe, not one of the few. It was the first time Harding's ran that play. And when you get into a certain groove, footwork is so important when you're running the option offense. And even when you're switching it up to a dive versus a counter, you can be a little loose with your ball handling, thinking about your feet more than ball security. Henderson State very fortunate to take advantage, and offense in business.
A chance to get back within one score. Drive start to the Bison's 31. Great opportunity for the Reddies. Stemetti throws on first down. It's caught at the 25-yard line. Slipping just over the first down is Ethan Lazarek with his first catch at Henderson State. A 5'11" junior from Santa Clarita, California. That's a gain of 9 yards. Could have been a little bit more, but the turf monster got him.
Yeah, Lazarek, the second time we've called his name, but that's his first catch. Again, really impressive fall camp, a very sure-handed receiver. No doubt he'll be quarterbacks will look his way many times this year.
Stemetti puts his fullback in motion out of the right side. Sets him up as an extra blocker. Hands the ball off. Logan Moraney twisted down quickly. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? Needs a yard for the first down. Is going to be short of that. But he did get to the line of scrimmage, and the Reddies look like they're going jumbo now up front on 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, this is a package that the Reddies have shown in a little bit in fall camp. It looks like 5 or 6 players on the backfield right now, including Cody Whitaker, getting his first action in the game.
Whitaker's the quarterback. Logan Moraney's behind him. Now they shift and line up Whitaker as a wide receiver. They'll set Mulraney up for a direct snap. He puts a fullback in motion, gets the snap, runs for the first down, dives for it. I think he got it. If not, it is awfully close.
I don't know about that.
Needs
Phil,
the 21. He might be short.
That's the Andrew Black package. You know, a little bit more dressing on it, if you will, with some pre-snap movement. But Mulraney basically turned into Andrew Black with the direct snap there. But it's going to remain 4th down, and this is no gimme. The Reddies have a few feet to go.
First attempt for either team on 4th down. Stemeti's back in at quarterback. Single running back is Mulraney. He barks for the snap. It doesn't come. Harding stays onside. 5 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. The give to Mulraney. Up the middle. Did he get it? Close again. Looks like he might have enough, but it's close either way. No signal from the officials. The Reddies set 1st down. Harding says no.
Well, the Harding defense just ran off the field, and it looks like we're going to get a measurement.
Yeah, we are going to have our first measurement of the night. Reddies are trying to get within one score. 24-10. Bison's lead a little inside 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Reddies trying, I mean, they had a 2nd down and 2, 3rd down and 1, 4th down in inches. And I'll tell you, I think they are short.
Yeah, just eyeballing it from up here, even the use of binoculars, you can't give it a definitive answer, but this would be quite the stand by Harding.
Here's the change from the far side. Officials take over the chains, stretch it out, and Henderson is short. Actually short by a full length of the football and a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know if they got any great spots on that last play, but gosh, what a hard stop to what would have been a short drive to begin with. But you have 2nd and 1 and get stopped 3 times on the ground, even bringing in your jumbo package. Henderson State gets some momentum and gives it right back to Harding as the Bisons take over.
More or less a turnover by Henderson, so the Bison's drive begins at the 22. With Harding leading 24-10 midway through the third quarter. And Preston Payton under center. Give the ball to Cole Chansey. The fullback has an opening over the 25. 2 hands on the ball to the 30. He gained 8 yards on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Simple dive play up to Chansey. It'll be interesting to see how much Harding moves it outside and how much, ball movement per se they'll work with on this drive after the fumble. That's about as simple as it gets right there, but pretty darn effective. 8 yards.
41 yards for Chansey on 10 carries. 2nd down and 2 from the 30. Slot back in motion right to left. Give to Chansey again. Dives for the 1st down and does pick up those 2 yards he needed. 1st down, Harding. As Chansey for the last 2 carries, totaling 10 yards.
Yeah, when the Reddies look back at this one, and again, still plenty of time, over 20 minutes to go, but
you had to do something with that turnover.
You really, as we said, you're not going to have many chances in the second half, many opportunities to even possess the ball. When you get that short of a field, you got to do more with it, and the Reddies are going to kick themselves looking back when they look back on this game.
Payton comes under center again, holds the ball out for Chansey. Chansey's got a hole again, tackled by his ankles at the 40-yard line by Antoine Rochelle, sophomore from Arlington, Texas. Chansey up the middle, 3 plays in a row, all the way up to the Harding 40. 2nd down and 3.
Harding doing a good job of staying ahead of the chains. And 2nd and 3 is paradise for a Harding offense, really.
Bison's 24, Reddies 10. Payton communicating with his teammates in the backfield, calling out the play. Slot back either side, Chansey's the fullback. Holds the ball out, Chansey again. Bursts over the middle, plenty of room, and there he goes past the 30, 25, 20, and tackled from behind. A touchdown-saving tackle made by C.J. Jones, but a big burst for Cole Chansey on his 4th consecutive carry. Harding's all the way to the Reddy 15-yard line, a gain of 44.
it's so frustrating. Just, 4 fullback dives in a row. You think about those play calls in today's modern game. Say, how can you run 4 fullback dives in a row? But when you have so many moving parts, so many options, left, right, middle, sometimes it's kind of like Occam's razor. The simplest answer or explanation is the best. And Cole Chansey rumbled there for 60 yards.
And on first down, a little trouble with the transfer of the ball. Pitch it out to the slot back, and he's tackled back in the backfield. They'll mark forward progress to the 15.
I believe that was Romar Reeds who's come into the game, but will go right back out of it, losing his ball cap, if you will. So Cole Chansey, who's responsible for every single yard on this drive, coming back in the game.
Carter Anderson walking off the field again. It looks like some cramping issues once again. Trying to stretch out that right leg. Mm-hmm. It'll be second down and 10 for Harding. We're inside 4 minutes in the third. Chansey's at fullback. They fake it to him, pitch to the slot back, running left, Malik Matthews. Matthews able to get over the line of scrimmage and stretch it near the out of bounds line. He was tackled outside the numbers near the 12. Call it the 13-yard line, gain of 2. Third down and 8 for the Bisons.
One thing that can't be overlooked that Harding's done a magnificent job. I've got to give him all the credit in the world this game. No penalties with just a little bit more than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, they did have the one. There was the 15-yard illegal block.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I apologize.
But that's the only one.
Still one penalty. I mean, good teams don't hurt themselves. So just one penalty with all the movement they have in the offense, that's impressive.
Payton fakes to the fullback, pitches to Taylor running right. That's Tucker. Tucker gang tackled at the 13-yard line, and it didn't look like he got much, maybe a yard or so. Mark him down to the 12. Third down and 7.
It's going to be fourth down. Field goal unit coming on.
They'll get him up by 3 scores if they put it through here.
Yep. And that fourth down, I guess lack of conversion, fourth down stop looming large as Henderson State if he hits this one, it's a 10-point swing. It's a 1-possession to 3-possession swing, but we shall see.
Cameron Scott from 29 yards out of the right hash mark. The snap back, the hold down, kick is up. It hits the left goalpost and bangs through. It is good.
Well, when it rains, it pours. The Reddies haven't really gotten a ton of breaks tonight, and even their own goalposts.
Official timeout on the field. Media timeout.
Own goalposts not smiling upon them. So the Reddies once again trailed by 17. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
We'll step aside. 27-10, Harding over Henderson. Late in the third quarter. We're back after this on the Henderson State Sports Network.
For Henderson State Ready Apparel and Souvenirs, stop by the Ready Bookstore, located on the HSU campus in the Garrison Center. Open before every game, you can also purchase apparel and gift items under the Ready Bookstore tent during the game. The Ready Bookstore is open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 8 to 4 on Friday. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Bookstore or online at www.readybookstore.com. Ready Bookstore, proud supporters of Henderson State Athletics.
Picture this. It's Monday afternoon and you're at Domino's buying a large 3-topping pizza. You give the Domino's employee $7.99 plus tax, of course. Now, picture this. It's Friday and you're at Domino's buying a large 3-topping pizza. You give the Domino's employee more than you paid Monday. You feel bamboozled. But then you hear this.
Domino's is now extending its $7.99 large 3-topping carryout deal to all day, every day.
And so you danced and ate Domino's. Carryout only. Must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.
Harding on the field goal, up 27-10. Reddy's about to get the ball back on the kickoff. Brought to you by Visit Hot Springs. Chase Lodry from the 10. Zigzagging up past the 15. Knocked down near the 20-yard line. Made it over the 20 to the 22. A 12-yard return by Lodry. And Henderson will have the football, trying to recover here. Ja'Cory Nichols on the tackle on the Harding special teams. Look at that last drive. The Harding Bisons, they went 66 yards on 8 plays. 4 minutes, 39 seconds off the clock. Scored on the field goal by Scott, 29-yarder. It's a 3-score game. Reddies have 2:12 on the third quarter clock. Richard Stemeti in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Quick throw left. Almost intercepted. Probably should have been. He telegraphed that. Dre Smith stepped in front of John Murray. Dropped the interception. Would have been a sure 6 points.
That's a similar play to something the Reddies have run a few times. Just their slot shotgun receivers running go routes and outside receivers running a 2 or 3 yard hitch. Dre read that play call and almost took it in for 6.
Well, in second down, they'll try the same throw, and this time it's Ben Johnson who makes a diving catch near the 27. About a 5-yard gain to Johnson.
Yeah, nice catch by Ben, sliding down to his knees on that play. It's so the discrepancy between these two offenses is, it's so obvious. It seems like it takes Harding 2 minutes to get into third down. Henderson's there in 15 seconds.
Now the snap with a triple stack right. A medium deep throw near the 48, and it is a leaping catch by John Murray for a first down. Quickly tackled at the Henderson 46-yard line. A gain of 19 yards. And that kind of hung in the air a little bit.
That did.
Good play by Murray.
Murray ran a corner route and had beat his defender. Ball hung up there, giving the defender time to come back and make a play on the ball, but really strong hands there by Murray. And a fundamental catch. He caught that ball way away from his body.
Clock shows a minute 12 in the third. Line up an extra tight end on the right side. Stemeti hands it off. Logan Mulraney bounces off a tackler at the line of scrimmage, pushes forward outside the numbers and brought down to the 45 in Harding territory. Good run by Mulraney. Initially tried to go up the middle but bumped off the tackler and turns it into a good gainer.
Looked like
second down and 2.
Looked like TJ Winslow tracked back and made the play on Logan Mulraney. Winslow going for the rip and strip there, and Mulraney went with the Winslow's momentum, allowed him to pick up some yards after contact. Reddies in a good spot, 2nd and 2.
Now they'll put that tight end in motion right to left. Lines up as an extra blocker, 2nd and 2. Stemeti wants to point out a spot in the coverage and gets the play off just in time. He's pressured. He's hit from behind. He loses the ball. A flag is thrown as Harding recovers the fumble. Flag was thrown right as Stemeti lost the football. A strip sack from behind the Ready quarterback. We'll see what the penalty call is.
Thrown in the Reddies' backfield. The offense remains out there, but looks like it's going to go against Henderson State as
holding. Offense number 76. That penalty is declined. It's first down Harding.
It's Cliff Jackson on the penalty for Henderson.
And Henderson State's ball control woes continue.
5th fumble, the 3rd that goes over to Harding.
And again, Henderson State with a little bit of offensive momentum. Some good throws by Stemeti after a nice run by Mulraney. These Harding defensive ends have wreaked havoc all night against Henderson State. And they do the trick once more as Harding has the ball near the 50.
Harding's at their own 49. Fake the handoff. Payton throws. Wide open catch. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5 near the corner. And tackled out of bounds after a huge play. Reggie Knox Jr. Is that Taylor Bissell on the catch? Pardon me. Boy, Bissell wide open. Got behind 3 defenders and a touchdown-saving tackle made from behind.
Malik Brown there.
Brown covered a lot of ground to go get him. That's the last play of the third quarter on nearly a killer, a 47-yard play that takes Harding 3 yards away from getting up by 4 scores. We'll step aside. Fourth quarter coming up next. Harding 27, Henderson 10. This is the Reddies Sports Network.
With over 40 years of experience, All Care Pharmacy understands your pharmaceutical needs. We offer fast and friendly service, including a drive-through window for additional convenience, along with 14 retail locations to serve you throughout Arkansas. Transfers are as easy as 1, 2, 3.
I'll get the legal before you come back.
02 West Pine Street in Arkadelphia. Remember, at All Care, we care.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more. Visit Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more and discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16 plus ounces of premium bone-in French-cut ribeye steak seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks, and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you.
Henderson defense backed up to their own goal line here. That'll be the first play of the fourth quarter, trailing 27-10 against the Harding Bisons. Harding just got a big gainer that took them from their 49 all the way to the Ready 3 on a 48-yard run or pass play to Taylor Bissell. Preston Payton under center, the quarterback turns to his left, hands the ball off. Romar Reeds will carry it into the end zone, and Harding has scored another touchdown. 33-10, the Bisons lead.
Yeah, Harding in control of this one. Henderson State, again, when they watch this film, going to be kicking themselves for coughing it up 5 times, but give credit to the Harding Bisons. I believe they're perfect in the red zone today. 2 field goals, and I guess that's 4 touchdowns now. So they've done something that Henderson State hasn't done. They've scored. They've got the most out of the red zone opportunities, and they're in total control right now. They're in the driver's seat.
Point after attempt by Cameron Scott is good, and it is 34-10. That is early in the fourth quarter. The Harding Bisons on a very simple 2-play drive. Able to get down the field in 15 seconds, 51 yards.
Well, we all know, and everybody in the state of Arkansas knows that Harding would rather run the ball than throw the ball. They've rushed the ball 42 times tonight and thrown the ball 3 times, but they're averaging over 25 yards a pass.
Yeah, it's very efficient when they throw.
A lot of times, when you only, especially in this day and age, you have very limited practice time, especially in fall camp, with the amount of times you can practice, amount of times you can hit, amount of times you can go full speed. So it's obviously, you kind of assume that Harding's going to have the run game running like a well-oiled machine, but for their passing game to come out and run receivers running crisp routes and just really the sheer execution, it's been impressive. Again, they're the 7th-ranked team in the country for a reason.
Reddy's got to get something going on offense. Just try to have a little positive momentum going here in the fourth quarter. Kickoff brought to you by Visit Hot Springs. Go to hotsprings.org. Call 800-SPA-CITY to plan your Hot Springs vacation. That's Gray from the 5. Little stutter step move over the 20. On his feet to the 25. Far sideline, makes a move to the 30. 35 out of bounds. Short of the, looks like they'll mark him out at the 40-yard line. Nice run there by Darian Gray. One of the better field positions for the Reddies today. We have a media timeout. I believe that's what he said. We do. Media timeout. We'll step aside early in the fourth. Bisons 34, Reddies 10 on the Henderson State Sports Network.
Subway restaurants are known for our sandwich artists, but our customers are the real creative geniuses.
I like turkey breast, mustard, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and onions.
I'll take the Italian BMT. Make it deluxe with 50% more meat. And add provolone and bacon.
How about rotisserie-style chicken, chipotle Southwest sauce, spinach, and green peppers?
With our freshly baked breads, your choice of proteins, and an array of crisp veggies, you can create your own masterpiece. What combo will you make today? Let your creative genius shine at Subway.
Do you have an idea that you'd like to see on a t-shirt? Print Mania can help you turn your idea into a reality. Print Mania offers a variety of t-shirts for you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Print Mania also does embroidery and engraving. Come visit us at 624 Main Street in Arkadelphia or call 870-246-3803. Print Mania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
Reddies with the football, and on first down, they'll go on the ground. And Logan Mulraney runs it up the middle. He'll pick up about 7 yards on the carry. Cobra Jones, pardon me, on the carry. 14:30 to play in the ball game, and Harding with a very comfortable 34-10 lead.
Well, if you just looked at our keys to the game and talk about staying in front or behind the chains, the Reddies averaging 7.1 yards per third down attempt. Harding averaging 3.3 yards to go on third down.
Richard Stemeti gets the shotgun snap. Quick pass caught, first down to the 50-yard line. Ben Johnson twisted around by the defender but falls forward to the 45.
Reddies having a little momentum going once again. I mean, their drives have, I guess it's how you finish, not how you start. But the Reddies, to be honest, after the first half, after the first quarter, most of their drives have started pretty positively. Not a whole lot of 3 and outs for the Reddies.
Jones still at running back, but Stemeti will throw. Throws it over the middle, and it's caught for another Reddy first down at the 30-yard line. And moving up the field after the catch, Zach Newble. Newble brought down to the 21. Gainer of 24 yards.
Zach Newble, teammates reunited, not that they were ever separated. He also hails or transfers from Kilgore Junior College. Some nifty footwork after the catch there. And he gets some nice yards after the reception.
It's Newble's first catch from the 21. Here's Stemeti throwing for the end zone, and it is incomplete. Overshot his mark, got hit hard after the throw by Tony Montez.
Yeah, that's he had his receiver open, but when the D tackle and the defensive end set a date in the backfield in the quarterback's chest, it's hard to be accurate. So the Reddies will try again, 2nd and 10.
Reddies at the Harding 21, going left to right. The snap to Richard Stemeti, sets up a screen. Barely got it over the defensive lineman, and it's caught at the 20. And about a 4-yard pickup after that by John Murray. Murray's usually the guy they set up for screens. It's the first time the Reddies have been able to use it for positive yardage today.
I'm surprised the Reddies haven't tried any running back or halfback screens with the amount of pressure the defensive line is getting on Stemeti. You'd think that an overzealous line would be susceptible to some screens, but haven't seen it so far.
3rd and 5. Reddies are 2 for 8, converting third downs. Stemeti back to throw, fires it near side, caught by Darian Gray, makes a man miss, and has the first down over the 10-yard line. He's able to beat Dre Smith.
Good catch and just a good offensive lean by Darian Gray. That's the sign of a good football player. When you can get hit or even stumble and fall forward, it's cliche, but football is truly a game of inches. And that forward lean got Darian a first down for the Reddies.
First down and goal, they're at the 9. Stemeti takes the snap, flips it far for the far side and the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Chase Lodry, his 2nd today. Well, great throw. They had some touch on that ball.
That's just a great looking throw by Richard Stemeti. Always tough throwing into the end zone because you want to give your receiver a chance. You want to give your receiver the only chance to catch it. You want to be wary of turning the ball over in the red zone, but at the same time, throwing against the boundary. A lot of times quarterbacks put too much on the ball. Perfect amount of sauce on that one, and Chase Lodry gets his 2nd touchdown reception of the game and his career.
Point after attempt by Martinez is good, and it's 34-17. The Reddies have cut the Harding lead in half. And that nice drive by Henderson, 6 plays, 55 yards.
And really all through the air. I think it was just one Cobra Jones rushing attempt, and Richard Stemeti took care of the rest. Also some good distribution. I believe Gray had a catch, Newble, Lodry obviously had the touchdown reception, and Ben Johnson picked up a first down as well. So always good to see a young quarterback, or not a young quarterback, but a newcomer, a quarterback who's a newcomer to the team, be hooking up with so many different receivers in one drive.
And he showed some touch on that fade route to the corner of the end zone. You get a guy like Lodry who's taller than most defensive backs at the Division II level, and you can turn that into a real weapon.
Absolutely, and the Reddies are going to have Lodry around for a few more years. Just a redshirt sophomore, again out of Dallas, Texas, from one of my favorite high school names is Skyline High School. It kind of sounds like out of a sci-fi movie.
I wonder if you start thinking about onside kicks. Nope. Going to boot this one and boot it through the end zone. So Harding will get the ball at the 25-yard line. A little more than 12 minutes to play in the ball game. 34-17. Now the Reddies, defensively in the first half, they did well against Harding, but in the second half, though, it's that defensive line's gone a little bit softer. Media timeout. We'll take a break with them. 34-17, Harding over Henderson State. We're still in the fourth quarter, and this is the Henderson State Sports Network.
Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, locally owned and operated in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Our family is committed to yours. Our experienced rehabilitation team specializes in physical, occupational, and speech therapy, all working together to get you home. Call and book a tour with us today at 870-246-6337 or visit our website at twinrivershr.com. Again, that's twinrivershr.com.
Don't be sidelined due to your injury. The orthopedic team at Texarkana Surgery Center with doctors Richard Hilborn, Trey Mitchell, Doug Thompson, and Tom Young are here to help you get back in the game. Texarkana Surgery Center, taking special care of our community for over 20 years.
Henderson needing a stop or a turnover defensively to get back in this ball game, down by 17 points. Harding on first down goes to the ground, and running with the football is Taylor Bissell, slot back out of Orlando, Florida. Been very busy today. Bissell with his 5th carry, and it's a gain of about 8 yards. And they move it up to the Harding 33.
That's the option counter Harding just showed for the first time tonight. So opening the playbook little by little. Again, one of those advantages of the Harding offense, or the option offense rather, you can keep it very simple and still find a lot of success.
224 rushing yards for Harding. And on the ground again, up the middle for the first down, gain of 2 by Cole Chansey. That dive for that first down. Chansey with his 14th carry. Leaves him a couple yards short of 100.
About half those yards came on one play when he broke it for 45 yards down to the Reddies' 5-yard line, and more than half of those yards came on one drive, as he had about 60 yards on that eventual scoring drive for the Bisons.
Bisons have gained 310. The Reddies have gained 274. It's the turnovers that have been the difference. 21 points scored on turnovers by Harding today. Reddies did create a turnover, but turned it over on downs right after that. Up the middle, Chansey again. Gain of 5 yards. He's up to the Harding 40.
And this is where you see the, you see the option offense reap its rewards in the fourth quarter of a hot, sweltering game. The offensive line can just pin their ears back and go forward. Defensive line's got to be up to the task.
They've got some of the second stringers in there. Matt Fuller, one of the slot backs. Baylor Cohue is in there as well. They haven't seen any action until this drive. Cohue in motion right to left. They snap the ball and Payton runs with it, but tackled quickly by a collar tackle by Colby Turner.
Yeah, that was actually a keep all the way by Payton. He jumps, I guess you call it kind of a backwards jump stop, resetting his feet parallel with the line of scrimmage and tucked the ball away. So that's just kind of a student body left sort of play. The Reddies were all over it. Easier to defend when you don't have a pitch player to worry about. Big play right here. Reddies need the ball back. 3rd and 5.
On 3rd down, the Bisons 2 for 7. The snap, pitch right. Running with the ball is Fuller. Fuller with a first down, big yardage up the right sideline and out of bounds at the Henderson 41. Gain of 28 yards, and once he got to the edge, it was an easy run for Matt Fuller.
Well, the option is a simple numbers game. You're looking which side do you have the advantage and the steps. And as soon as Preston Payton pulled that ball, it was 3-on-2 in Harding's favor, and Fuller took advantage.
The rushing yards now up over 250. It's amazing sometimes you look at some of the box scores for Harding and they'll gain 500 on the ground, 450 on the ground. And again on the ground, this is to the fullback. Reed slipping off tackles, running to his left, and down he goes at the 36. Gain of 5 yards before Bryson Gibson brought him down for the tackle. Gibson, 5'11", sophomore out of Tyler, Texas. Well, the clock is rolling, 8:23 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Harding leads 34-17.
Harding's such an effective team because even when they put their backups or, call them second stringers in there's really no drop off. So they're rotating fresh slot backs, fresh fullbacks in the game, even late in the fourth quarter. So they're ready to roll at all times.
Tucker and Bissell back in there. Saunier trying to interrupt them, but the pitch right is brought down, and there goes Tucker again up the right sideline, zigzagging his way through the numbers and into the end zone. Touchdown, Harding. Very impressive run, 36-yarder by Tristan Tucker.
And this Harding offense is rolling right now. The Reddies had them 3rd and 5, and Harding responded with a 12-yard gain. And Henderson, for 41 points against, I think the defense has done a respectable job tonight. But late in the game, not as much resistance on that drive as we'd seen earlier in this contest.
Cameron Scott's point after attempt is good. And the score is now 41-17, Harding leading. Harding has led nearly wire to wire. They got on top on a field goal on their second drive of the game, and have not looked back. We will step aside for a break. We're midway through the fourth quarter, and Harding has a 41-17 lead on the Henderson State Sports Network.
SCM Architects have been serving Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. You'll recognize the firm's work on campus in the design of the new dining hall, the Charles Dunn Student Recreation Center, Sturgis Honors Hall, and East and West Residence Hall. This year, SCM Architects have been privileged to work on the restoration of the Caddo Center cafeteria that will house an exhibit of Native American artifacts from the Joint Educational Consortium Hodges Collection. Learn more about the firm's higher education, commercial, interior design, historic preservation, and master planning projects at scmarchitects.com.
Hi, I'm Maya. I am 9 years old and I have type 1 diabetes. Please join me on October 28th for the 2018 JDRF 1 Walk. The walk will be held at Dickie Stevens Park in North Little Rock on October 28th. The event opens at 1 p.m. and the walk will begin at 2 p.m. Hope to see you there. To register, go to walkjdrf.org or call 501-217-0312.
Kickoff goes right to left. Darian Gray returns it up the middle, and Gray down he goes at the 21-yard line. Returned about 15 yards by Gray. 7:45 to play, fourth quarter. Henderson trailing 41-17 against the Harding Bisons. Well, Henderson had a nice drive on the last time out there, with Lodry catching his second touchdown. So Lodry out there wide left. Stametti looking for Lodry as he's flushed out of the pocket. Hit from behind, throws it out of bounds. Was able to get rid of the football. Almost sacked from behind, though, by Devin Comer.
Yeah, Comer split a double team there between the right tackle, Blake DeBala, and Logan Mulraney. But Comer, a 6'2", 235-pound senior out of San Diego, split that double team and gave Stametti problems in the backfield.
Now on second down, Richard Stametti gets the snap. He gives the ball to, is that Cobra Jones? It is Jones up the middle, and Jones over the 30 to the 31. Devin Comer stopped him. Will be a ready first down. There's an injured Harding defender on the play. That's Dylan Hendricks. Middle linebacker, that is Sam Blankenship, their star middle linebacker.
Yeah, it just simply looks like cramps again. He's getting up. Sam, a very impressive player.
He can't put any weight on that right foot, but he's hopping off the field on the left foot.
No. Even when the clock is stopped, he looks impressive out there. Good effort from Sam. No doubt he'll go over 200 tackles at some point during this season, so good for good career for Sam and Cersei.
Reddies with a first down to their 31, going left to right. The snap, Stameti almost dropped it. He's able to recover, throw it past Ben Johnson with a twisting catch at the 37. Gain of 6 yards. Johnson expected the ball to go right to his chest. He had to lunge out to his right, but did haul it in.
Ben's been the safety valve for Stameti tonight. 6 catches, just 27 yards, but he has caught 75% of the targets that have gone his way. So Stameti looking Johnson's way when he's in trouble.
That pass play puts Stameti over 200 yards for today. A couple of the touchdowns, 17 for 26 throwing. Tries another pass. This one caught over the first down marker. And that was
Ethan Lazarek with the second catch of the game.
All right, Lazarek brought it in, a gain of 6 yards. At the 44-yard line, the clock ticking to 6:32 left in the fourth quarter. Harding 41, Henderson 17. Reddies will be visiting Arkansas Tech next week. Here's Stameti again with a throw. Caught near the 50 by Darian Gray. Tackled quickly. Gain of 6 yards for Gray. Speaking of Arkansas Tech, trailing 38-0.
Not a good day.
Southern Arkansas.
Well, I don't want to write the Reddies off just yet, but it certainly seems like both of those teams will be looking for their first win in week 2.
SAU with 3 interceptions today. Stameti back to throw out of the shotgun. He's pressured. Runs to his left, looking for a room to throw, and he fires for the far sideline. Almost a great diving catch. It did go through the hands of the intended receiver, Zach Newble, into the Harding bench. And it's 3rd down and 4 for the Reddies.
For all the struggles that Stameti went through early in the game, and they weren't really necessarily his struggles, but just the struggles of the entire offense, I think he's had a nice second half, 18 for 29 right now. That's not a bad start to a Reddy career, including 2 touchdowns and no interceptions.
3rd and 4, another low snap. Stameti finds Johnson for the first down to his left, and Johnson hounded by a tackler as he goes out of bounds at the 35. Gain of 15 yards. First down Henderson. Dre Smith on the tackle. 7th catch for Johnson, the 16th completion. Pardon me, the 20th completion for Richard Stameti.
Johnson's longest catch of the night. And no, again, as we just said, that safety valve made for 3rd down, and the Reddies not putting together a nice drive again right here.
Here's the snap to Richard Stameti. From the Harding 35, flips a fade for the far side, and it is incomplete. Boy, that ball hung up in the air like a balloon. And it did allow Ben Johnson to try to get underneath it and attempt a diving catch. Just a little bit out of his reach.
That's just one. That's a play Ben maybe makes in the first quarter, but when you're soaked in, when you're 5 pounds heavier because your jersey's soaked in sweat and you're a half step slower, just couldn't extend his arms quite enough.
5 minutes even on the clock. Harding's up 41-17 here at Carpenter Haygood. Tough opening day for the Reddies. Richard Stameti throws again. Pass is caught at the 32-yard line by Lazarek again. Lazarek's been a little bit busier now. His 3rd catch of the ball game. That's a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Lazarek a little bit smaller than Johnson, only standing at about 5'10", but kind of has the similar role in that safety valve possession type of receiver. Runs clean routes and just kind of a guy who finds himself open.
3rd and 6. Reddies go with an empty set. Another low snap. No room at all here for Richard Stameti, and he is hit and sacked by Shedrick Robinson. There have been some issues with the snap from Tyler Barnes today. A lot of low snaps on the shotgun. And the extra time, the extra split second it took Stameti to lean forward and reach low for it. He didn't have enough time to set his body up.
Yeah, the snaps were an issue in fall camp. I see a few plays derailed on the practice field by bad snaps, and when you're facing an all-out blitz and you can't afford a low snap.
They'll try to convert a 15-yard 4th down play, and there's a movement on the left side of the line.
It'd be John Murray left a little bit too early.
It'll make it a 4th down and 20. We call Murray for that brief start. 5th penalty on Henderson. Only 1 penalty on Harding, and really that's not a lot of penalties for any ball game.
No. I mean,
6 penalties for the whole game.
When you think about it, the two of the Henderson penalties basically came in the first 2 plays of the game. So
back to throw Stametti. Crosses over the 50-yard line, looks for room. He runs over the 50. He runs past the 45. He jukes his way, and he's brought down short of the 40-yard line. Still had some room to throw the ball, but he just could never set his feet.
Yeah, he scrambled left, but all of his receivers had run their routes to the right side of the field, and really no chance for Stametti to recuperate and look back to the right. Tried his best, but that play was doomed from the very beginning. Harding will take over, just over 3 minutes to go in the game.
3:24 on the clock. Harding with a 41-17 lead.
Looks like the backup quarterback, Dakota Ensley, is in there now.
They got Ensley, a 6-footer out of Granbury, Texas. He's a junior. And I'm sure he's pretty adept at handing the ball off, which he does so on this very play. And that is Jesse Honas out of Bryan, Texas, with a 2-yard pickup on 1st down. That's the 8th different player to get 1 carry tonight for Harding University.
It's funny because it's the opposite equivalent for Henderson. 8 different receivers have caught a ball for the Reddies, so 2 different styles of offense being shown off tonight. But Harding has gotten the better of the Reddies this Thursday.
2nd and 8. Ensley's under center. Holds it out again, and there's a little room up the middle. Closes quickly. Gain of 1 yard. Will be 3rd down and 8. Tackle made by Khalil Mitchell, the Henderson inside linebacker out of Pittsburgh, Tennessee. 3rd and 7. Clock shows 2:20. Harding, if they get a 1st down here, can run out the clock.
Yeah, it could be the ball game. Don't think Scott Maxfield is going to use his timeouts to get the ball back.
Yeah, you're not working the clock anymore.
Nope.
Reddies, it felt like they had a couple of chances in this game, but could not convert points on turnovers. The snap, fake the handoff. Ensley runs for it, and he won't get the 1st down. In fact, he won't make midfield. Down to the 49-yard line before Antoine Rochelle stops him. A little pushing and shoving, but it looks like the Reddies will get the ball back with 1:45 to play.
Well, it doesn't look like the punt team's hustling out on the field. And,
it really doesn't.
I think Harding is just going to keep the offense and trust that they can get the 2-yard push. But at the same time, if you hang your hat on 4th and short, 3rd and short, you're really not scared of going for it in this situation. So, it's kind of an opportunity for Henderson State's defense right now. Kind of a put up or shut up. The game's out of reach, but kind of playing for pride at this point, and always good to get a 4th down stop. So we'll see what the Reddies can do. But it looks like we're gonna have to wait a little longer as the Bisons take a timeout.
A timeout called by the Bisons as the clock was put in motion. They didn't want to take the 5-yard penalty, but they will call the timeout.
I guess they just don't want to go back to Searcy just yet.
Not quite yet, right? I'm sure they'll have a little celebration to do after this one is done. The Reddies beat them last year, but then after an 0-3 start, Harding reels off 11 straight wins.
This I don't want to bring up bad memories in my first time up in the booth, but this game, it's not deja vu by any means, but it's got similar shades of the last time Henderson played Harding at home, which they fell 35-3 in a defeat which was just marred with turnovers and mistakes, and including, I believe Harding scored something like 2 or 3 touchdowns in the last minute of the first half, and nothing quite as egregious happened in such a short time frame tonight. But if that fair catch hadn't have been reversed, something like that might have happened. But 5 fumbles for Henderson State. Like you said, the Reddies had their outside chances, but when you spot the 7th-ranked team in the country a 10-point lead and lose the turnover battle, lose the penalty battle, it's hard to win.
Cameron Scott will punt. It's a wobbly one. It's not returnable. Bounces near the 20 and takes a Harding roll. It's inside the 15. It'll die in the field of play at the 15-yard line. And with 61 seconds to play, the Reddies about to get their last drive. First and 10, Henderson with 61 seconds to play. And we'll send Cyrus to the field. You know, I guess it makes sense if our recorder didn't work properly because not much has worked for the Reddies on the field today. 61 seconds left. Reddies not going to be taking a knee. Richard Stemeti will get the shotgun snap. Hold the ball out to the running back. That's Corrali Hall out of Inglewood, California with the carry. And not a lot there. Made it to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Clock rolling to 44 seconds, and a few fans starting to get up and walk away from the stadium. Second down and 9. And we're going to have a timeout called by Harding. They had too many players on the field. That's something else in the last, minute 30 or so of this ball game, which obviously feels like it's been decided for a while. Harding taking 2 timeouts for substitution purposes. Brought to you today by Larry Pennington Insurance. Larry Pennington is an independent insurance agent. He's based right here in Arkadelphia. You can visit him at 107 North 26th or call him at 870-246-3700. Larry Pennington Insurance. Next week, it's the Reddies and the Wonder Boys of Arkansas Tech. 5 o'clock is our airtime. 6 o'clock kick from Russellville, Arkansas. First road game of the year for the Reddies, and they'll play the next 2 on the road, including a long trip out to Alva to battle the Rangers of Northwestern Oklahoma State, September 15th. Richard Stemeti will take a snap with 32 seconds to play. And he'll hand the ball off. Nothing there. Literally nothing there except the loss of maybe a yard. Corrale Hall again on the carry. And that might be the last play of the game. Reddies could get one more play off if they're quick. 13 seconds. 41-17 Harding. That'll be in the final score of this one. One more play. They do get it off. And it's a handoff. Hall bouncing off a tackle and makes it over the 20, and that's it. Final score here on opening day 2018. The Harding Bisons defeat the Henderson State Reddies 41-17. Well, this one feels like the Reddies never quite in it. They had a couple of chances to get within a score, but couldn't capitalize on a couple of opportunities. And Harding ends up with a big victory, 41-17. Stay tuned. Southern Bancorp postgame show is next. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
What if I told you that you could help someone start a small business, make a family's dream of owning their first home a reality, or even help a young child learn the value of saving to become the first in her family to go to college? Well, if you're banking with Southern Bancorp, you're already doing this and more. Southern Bancorp is a bank unlike any other in Arkansas. We were founded to focus our energy and our efforts on building up rural communities by providing responsible financial services to help them grow. From the small-town business owner dreaming of global markets to the young family dreaming of a home, we're in the business of creating economic opportunity. And by banking with us, you can be too. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at banksouthern.com to learn more. Southern Bancorp, building communities and changing lives. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Subway restaurants are known for our sandwich artists, but our customers are the real creative geniuses.
I like turkey breast, mustard, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and onions.
I'll take the Italian BMT. Make it deluxe with 50% more meat. And add provolone and bacon.
How about rotisserie-style chicken, Chipotle Southwest sauce, spinach, and green peppers?
With our freshly baked breads, your choice of proteins, and an array of crisp veggies, you can create your own masterpiece. What combo will you make today? Let your creative genius shine at Subway.
The Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia is a proud sponsor of Henderson State Athletics. We offer the best American-made vehicles: Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. We have the largest selection and lowest prices, and we're the only dealer who give you tires for life with every new car you purchase. Come see the Southwest Auto Collection at 10th Street in Arkadelphia, or go online at idriveswa.com. The Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia.
The state's leader in care is right here in the comfort of your own community. Baptist Health Medical Center Arkadelphia is a full-service hospital. Here, state-of-the-art technology is united with highly qualified physicians and the most quality nursing staff in the region. From major surgery to minor injuries, we care for you because we're your neighbor. And we're backed by Baptist Health, Arkansas's most comprehensive and respected care network. Baptist Health Medical Center Arkadelphia, your community hospital.
Back here at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium, the Henderson State Reddies lose a tough one here to Harding University tonight, 41-17. Harding kind of had this one in the bag more than anything because of turnovers. Henderson commits 3 turnovers, leading to 21 points. So even though the Reddies were outgained just 385 yards to 324 yards, the scoreboard looks a lot uglier than the total yardage does. Phil Elson here. Cyrus Wittig is talking with Scott Maxfield down on the field. Hopefully our interview will work. I think it does. And it looks like here it is. We've got our post-game interview with Scott Maxfield ready to go. So let's put it here in the can and play it for you. Here is Cyrus Wittig with Scott Maxfield after today's loss.
Coach, a frustrating week 1 loss going down to Harding. Besides the turnovers, kind of the mistakes tonight, what was your main takeaway from the first part of the 2018 season?
Well, I mean, you saw it just like I did. I don't know how many turnovers we had. I think we had 4, 5 turnovers. Anytime you turn the ball over, had a couple of fiascos on kickoff return. You know, anytime you make big mistakes in turnovers, special teams. I thought the defense played really good the first half. Second half, I thought they were a little shaky. We didn't rally up when we needed to. We got some sudden change situations. We got put back on the field, and we didn't really respond real well. So, thought the offense did come around a little bit the second half and had a couple of good series. Just the consistency of everything that we're doing offensively right now is killing us.
Richard Smetti did end up with over 200 yards passing, most of those coming in the second half. As you kind of alluded to, what did you like from him in the second half, kind of settling down a little bit? He distributed the ball pretty well to a lot of different receivers. Did you like the way he settled down and kind of took control of the offense in the second half?
Well, I think that they just started playing back. They didn't really put a lot of pressure on him, so I don't know if it's so much that we did or so much that they didn't do. So we'll watch the film. First game of the year, we got to watch it come back and try to get better.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's about turnovers. Too many tough positions that this team is in today to bounce back from it. I mean, you give them 21 points off turnovers and couldn't capitalize on the one turnover that Henderson created, and that's never going to be a recipe for success.
No, it's not. You know, I feel like a broken record talking about this Harding's seventh ranked spot in the poll. But when you play a team like Harding, the defending national semifinal participant, the defending GAC championship, you don't necessarily have to play a perfect game. I think perfect football is kind of overrated or maybe untouchable or unattainable. But you certainly can't fumble the ball 5 times and commit the amount of costly penalties that the Reddies did. When we look back on this game a few years from now, you know, we're really gonna mostly see the 41-17 score. The box scores a lot of time get maybe lost in the record books. And when we look back on this game, I don't really think it was a 24-point difference between these two teams. Harding only outgained Henderson State 385 to 324. You know, that's again not that much of a difference, and it's not as if the Reddies got a lot of those yards back on kind of meaningless plays. The Reddies hung with Harding in yardage the whole game long, but as we've said before and we'll say again, the fumbles, the penalties, just too many mistakes for Henderson tonight. And I mean, they really spotted Harding a 10-point lead. Harding's offense barely had to move the ball or break a sweat, and they were up 10 points, and Henderson got the ball on the fumble, down 14, chance to make it a one-possession game, driving pretty close to the red zone, couldn't get couldn't convert 3 times on 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and then 4th and 1. Harding comes down and scores, and that kind of felt like your ball game at that point. Harding just kept Henderson at arm's length all game long, and Henderson's going to have to go get their first win or look for their first win in week 2.
Stay tuned after the break. We'll run through the box score. This is the Henderson State Sports Network.
Apparently, you've been ordering Domino's new bread twists as a decoy to keep others away from your pizza. Only you suddenly wanted more bread twists for yourself.
Let's do this as the last segment,
between
okay?
Either pizza or warm, dunkable bread twists and.
Okay, that works.
And like deciding between going to the dentist or DMV.
On that one,
so
I
when
didn't
it comes
stop,
to
I
giving you
just
the
hit
best
record
tasting
again.
problem you've ever had, sorry, you're welcome.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's new bread twists or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizzas may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
For Henderson State Ready Apparel and Souvenirs, stop by the Ready Bookstore, located on the HSU campus in the Garrison Center. Open before every game. You can also purchase apparel and gift items under the Ready Bookstore tent during the game. The Ready Book.
I'm through with the spots anyway.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, we're good.
Twitter and Instagram at Ready Bookstore or online at www.readybookstore.com. Ready Bookstore, proud supporters of Henderson State Athletics.
SCM Architects have been serving Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. You'll recognize the firm's work on campus in the design of the new dining hall, the Charles Dunn Student Recreation Center, Sturgis Honors Hall, and East and West Residence Hall. This year, SCM Architects have been privileged to work on the restoration of the Caddo Center cafeteria that will house an exhibit of Native American artifacts from the Joint Educational Consortium Hodges Collection. Learn more about the firm's higher education, commercial, interior design, historic preservation, and master planning projects at scmarchitects.com.
Back here on the Southern Bancorp postgame show, Southern Bancorp, from our mission to our market. Southern Bancorp is a different kind of bank. They're focusing on underserved communities. Southern combines traditional banking, lending services with financial development tools to help families and communities grow stronger. Southern Bancorp, longtime supporter of Henderson State Ready Athletics. Phil Elson with Cyrus Wittig. Henderson drops one today, 41-17 to the Bisons. Here's some of the stats, and we'll run through the out-of-town scores. Harding had 16 first downs to the Reddies 15. Reddies also around gained 385 to 324. 55 plays by Harding, 63 plays by Henderson. Harding on the 55 plays, they ran 52 rushing plays for 307 yards. The Reddies 30 carries for 90 yards. Harding passed for 78. The Reddies passed for 234. The turnovers obviously were the big killer. 5 fumbles. 3 of them were lost to Harding. Harding did lose the only fumble that they committed, but the Reddies didn't turn that into any points, and Harding converted the 21 points off of the 3 turnovers by Henderson State. Penalties won by the Reddies, won by the Bisons, 15-yarder. Henderson committed 5 penalties for 30 yards. Harding held the ball for 34 minutes and 6 seconds. Henderson 25 minutes and 17 seconds. On third down, Harding was 3 of 9. The Reddies were 4 of 12. Harding did not try a fourth down conversion, while Henderson went 0 for 2 on fourth down. Individual numbers, Harding had a couple of the runners over 100 yards. Tristan Tucker gained 103 net yardage on 9 carries. Cole Chansey gained 103 net yards on 15 carries. Romar Reeds gained 34 net yards on 10 carries. Matt Fuller, 3 carries for 29 yards. For the Reddies, Logan Moraney had a pretty good game, 5.1 yards a carry, 77 yards on 15 touches. Cobra Jones gained 25 yards on 3 carries. Corrali Hall 7 yards on 3 carries. Richard Stemeti in his debut at Henderson went 21 of 33. That's 234 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was sacked 4 times. Preston Payton, he only tried 3 passes. He was successful on all of them, 78 yards, including a 22-yard touchdown strike. Taylor Bissell for Harding caught 1 pass for 48. Taylor Thompson caught the 22-yarder for the touchdown. Bobby Green caught 1 pass for 8. The Reddies, as you mentioned, Cyrus, spread it out. They had, let's see here, that's 7 players catch 1 ball. Ben Johnson caught 7 for 42. Did commit a fumble, though, that led to a score. Chase Lodry had a good game, 2 touchdowns, 43 yards, 3 touches. Darian Gray, 3 catches for 23 yards. Ethan Lazarick made 3 catches for 20 yards. John Murray, 2 catches, 24 yards. Zacharias Nash-Kelly had the longest play from scrimmage for the Reddies, a 51-yarder on his only catch. Zach Newble, 1 catch for 24. Logan Moraney, 1 catch for 7. And then there's the scoring, where Harding scored the first 10 points. At the 4:39 mark in the first quarter, Cameron Scott was successful on a 25-yard field goal, completing a 5-play, 17-yard drive that took 2:44 off the clock. On the next drive, Henderson committed a fumble. Ben Johnson fumbled a pass. It was picked up by Frank Herbert and returned 11 yards for a score, made it 10-0. The Reddies got on the board early in the second. Chase Lodry with a 26-yard touchdown strike from Richard Stemeti. Completed a 5-play, 57-yard drive in a minute 45. Got the Reddies within 3, but the next drive saw Harding go down the field and set up Taylor Thompson for 22 yards on a pass play by Preston Payton. The previous 7 plays on that drive had all been running plays. 4:30 went off the clock, and Harding got up 17-7. Preston Payton then late in the second. This was after Henderson fumbled the ball within the 20-yard line. They went 5 plays, 20 yards, 2:17. Payton from a yard out made it 24-7, and that was the halftime score. Harding up by a 24-7 score. The Reddies scored first in the second half, though. At 12-minute mark, Timo Martinez, a 32-yard field goal, completes an 8-play, 70-yard drive, made it 24-10. Bison's got that 3 points back late in the third. Cameron Scott, 29-yard field goal, completes 8 plays, 66 yards, made it 27-10. Harding then went 51 yards on 2 plays. Romar Reeds ran 3 yards for the touchdown to make it 34-10. Lodry's second touchdown pass of the game came at the 12:08 mark in the fourth. 9-yarder from Richard Stemeti made it 34-17. Tristan Tucker on the longest scoring play of the game for either team, 36-yard run, completes a 75-yard, 7-play drive. Took about 4.5 minutes off the clock. That made it 41-17. All right, so you can hear there a lot. There was some long drives by Harding, but the short drives is really what's going to kill you in a game like this. They had 2 drives that were
less than 20 yards.
Less than 20 yards for scores, and then the 11-yard return on the fumble for the easiest touchdown they got today.
Right. It's, as we've, will sound like a broken record again, but Harding is an offense where you really have to make them work. When it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, the law of averages says, the longer you make them go, they have it's very unlikely for them to put, they did it, so I'm going to have to, kind of put my foot in my mouth, but they did it tonight. They had a 90-yard drive, but it's really hard for an offense like Harding to put, a 12-play drive together, just because you're basically counting on no mistakes. You're counting on not going backwards, not getting in tough spots. And if you're Henderson State, we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, you got to put them at 2nd and 9, 3rd and 7s, and they didn't do that. We saw that. I think we went over it at one point. Harding was averaging 3.3 yards down in distance to go on 3rd down. They finished the game averaging 3rd and 4. So I guess that's not so bad for Henderson State's defense. But Henderson State's defense didn't play too bad of a game. It was just the self-inflicted wounds, the fumbles, some of the untimely penalties that made such a big difference for Henderson State, and that's really the main reason Henderson's 0-1 and Harding's 1-0.
Well, let's see what else is going on around the GAC. We do have mostly final scores. This one should be a final. It was Southern Arkansas 38-0. It is a final score. Southern Arkansas blows out Arkansas Tech 38-0. Mule Riders improved to 1-0. Tech and Reddies next week, both teams going in 0-1. Ouachita wins a pretty close one at Northwestern Oklahoma, 29-21. Ouachita with the win in that ball game. It's according to the Ouachita Twitter account, their 12th consecutive year, opening up the season with a win. Southeastern Oklahoma 35-0 over Southern Nazarene. I mean, there's some really ridiculous blowout scores. I mean, this was a blowout too, but at least the Reddies got on the scoreboard a little bit. Southwestern Oklahoma ahead of UAM 42-28. That game is a final score now. It is 49-35. Final score, Southwestern Oklahoma defeats UAM. And I should refresh my page here because this is probably a final two. East Central and Ouachita Baptist. It's minute 34 remaining in the fourth. They are tied 20-20. So there were really just two close ball games in the Great American Conference today. That's the tie game with ECU and Ouachita and Oklahoma Baptist, and the Ouachita Northwestern Oklahoma game were also a pretty close one. And hopefully next week the Reddies can go to Arkansas Tech and play better, really, when it comes down to it. On offense, can't fumble the ball as much as they did, can't commit so many early penalties. I think the false starts kind of might have shown a little nervousness, lack of cohesion at the start, but the turnovers are going to kill you. And there were some flashes for Henderson defensively. I mean, you remember this Harding team, they're one of the best offenses in the country, and they do it in a way that not a lot of teams do. So I think things might be a little bit better a little different next week, facing an Arkansas Tech team that obviously had a pretty miserable day, losing 38-0.
Right. No, they might have an easier week next week, but at the same time, after a team gets blown out 38-0 to start the season, you know that you're gonna get their best shot come week 2. So these are going to be two pretty hungry teams when they face off next Saturday. So long weeks for both of these teams. Obviously, long weeks for everybody in D2. And as we saw from Harding last year, they lost their first 3 games before ripping off 11 straight. So by no means is the season over. I know Henderson State fans have very high expectations, and dropping to 0-1, you'd of course rather be 1-0. But for both these teams, Arkansas Tech and Henderson State, you get a long week, you get some extra time to fix the problems, you get some extra time to work on some things that you might just simply don't get the time to do in a regular football week. So look for a really intense, hard-fought game next week when the Reddies travel up to Russellville.
5 o'clock is our airtime for the Domino's pregame show next Saturday evening in Las Vegas, when the Reddies battle Arkansas Tech. At 6 o'clock is when it is the opening kickoff. That's when we'll talk to you next. So for Cyrus Wittig, for Phil Raines back in the studios in Little Rock, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for tuning in today, and a tough one for the Reddies. They dropped the opening day ball game to Harding 41-17. Folks, don't forget, it is just a game, and we'll talk Reddy football once again next Saturday.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms with the...
Thanks. I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Phil.
Answer.
Good night.
High school sports. Education-based high